Hello everyone, and welcome back to Divine Rebel. My name is Racy, and I'm going to be giving the readings for you today. These are the new moon in Pisces, undoing the illusion readings. So if you got your secret code name, you purchased one, you know which secret code name is yours. For those of you who did not purchase a secret code name, but you are drawn to one of the names, it resonates with you, or it just stands out, there is most likely a message in there for you. Of course, you can be drawn to more than one code name. You may need more than one message. Also, I have put up the cosmic currency for the actual moon event tomorrow on the 13th. That takes place at 5:21 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. If you did not see it, that reading is up. Be fair warned, it is a warning. This new moon, it's a manifesting new moon, and it's manifesting some crazy shit, and it's requiring people on their A game. So heed the message in there if you feel you need it, or if you need to share it out with somebody because you're their earth angel and you just need to drum it home one more time. Trust me, they just might ring a bell. Okay. For the end of the month, the full moon in Libra, as an advance notice, I had posted about it on Facebook and MeWe and earlier on YouTube in the community section of the channel. I will not be doing the moon event like I normally do on YouTube for the full moon in Libra on March 28th. Okay, I'm moving. My flame and I are moving at the end of the month. We're getting a new place, and it is way too crazy to be doing a moon event on that day. So I have selected certain code names already because these will not be private readings for individuals that purchase them. I have picked out 5 secret code names with my guides that I will be recording for Patreon. So if you are a patron with me on Patreon, you will be able to get the Releasing Imbalanced secret code name themed readings for the full moon in Libra on March 28th. Now, with Patreon, I have it set up now so that it does not charge you the $5 upon sign up. Okay, so you can sign up at any time. It's not going to charge you $5 until the first of the month, and it'll charge on the first of the month every month after that, that you continue to stay with Patreon. If your funds are not in there, for whatever reason, you do not have $5 extra in your account on the first of the month, Patreon will not take it out and overdraft your account, but they will cancel your patronage. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Okay, just keep that in mind. They're not gonna crazy overdraft you, and if you don't have it right now, that's fine, because you'll be able to catch up on the first of the month. They'll wait until then. Okay, so if you don't want to miss the full moon in Libra, sign up with me on Patreon. The Releasing Imbalance live will be on the 28th. The secret code names for that live are Melchizedek, Sunshine, Swan, the Heart, and Zadkiel. Okay, those are going to be the 5 secret code names for the Releasing Imbalance themed full moon in Libra readings on the 28th. Okay, Melchizedek, Sunshine, Swan, the Heart, and Zadkiel. So if one of them is already pinging to you, make sure that you check out the description and sign up on Patreon so that you can get that right at the end of the month. For this live, the new moon in Pisces, undoing the illusion readings, secret code names are Power Plays, Wild and Free, Witch's Hat, Elephant Spirit, Wind Whispers, Waves, Mic Check, Shamrock, Sparrow, Manatee, Lapis Lazuli, and Whale Depths. All right, those are going to be the 12 secret code names for this live. All right, because I am recording these in pieces in advance, like I said, and I'm putting them all together, all of the timestamps will be in the description for you as well. All right, so you could just fast forward right to the code names that resonate with you. I know some of you love to listen to the whole thing, which of course you can still do. All right, so thank you in advance for everybody who comments, gives me the feedback, puts the thumbs up, shares it out. I greatly appreciate you and your support of me and the channel. Let's get started. For today's readings, I'm using my Archetype cards by Carolyn Miss. I'm using my Icarus Tarot and my Wisdom of the Oracle cards. And I have my Barberry Tarot nearby just in case I feel like I want clarification, but I think we'll be okay. I'm also using a gift from my flame. He got me these awesome astro dice made of real amethyst crystals. So you can see I got one for each of the houses. I've got one with all the different planets on there, including North Node and South Node. And I've got one with all the signs. So I will be using them too, and I'm super excited. I'm super excited. Now these dice are going for the readings. They're either going to let you know what aspects are actually pinging in your house, whether they're individually or related, or if it's just the overall energy that this dice is moving forward that you're dealing with, right? Because just because it's not in your chart does not mean the energies are not a very real thing, right? Depending on how other things are aspecting, not just in your chart, but with what's going on with this specific new moon. Okay, so the secret code names. First one is power plays. So secret code name, power plays. Let's start you off with our astro dice, huh? All right, 9th house, Gemini, North Node. Now, North Node is in Gemini right now, and this could be affecting your 9th house in a very special way. The 9th house has to do with mental exploration. It's a house that is typically ruled by Sagittarius, which is Gemini's polar opposite sign. North Node in Gemini has been pulling people towards the face value facts of themselves and their lives and what they need to do in order to shift it. You know, this is like very logical. Like if you want to fix your problem, then you need to do the solution. It's very simple. You know, Gemini energy, people think it's so hard. You know, the solution is so hard, but really it's like, well, if you need money, go get a job. You know what I mean? It's like that simple. So people are like, yeah, but I don't want this job, that job. But it's like, but you need money, so go get a job. Oh, you need a car, but you don't have pay stubs because you're on unemployment. Okay, well, you need to go get a job. You know, it's very, very simple, right? It's very, very simple. So the solution isn't always necessarily the one we want, but it is very simple. It is very simple, okay? When it comes to the 9th house, it could also, the 9th house is sometimes also travel. So it may be time for you to make a move, literally or metaphorically speaking, maybe a little bit of both. But that's the facts, right? It might be just simply time for you to make a move in order for you to expand your beliefs about what is possible, right? About what is possible, what could actually manifest as far as destiny is concerned, right? North Node, if you were to start making some serious moves and trusting in destiny, right? Trusting in destiny. With that said, let's get into these cards Archetype cards, please. Give me one for secret code name, power plays. I'm not surprised with that secret code name that Spirit's talking to you about solutions and possibly moving or making moves, right? Not surprised. What is the archetypal energy, Spirit, the light and the shadow that they are dealing with within themselves? Secret code name, power plays. Okay, we definitely got two. The hedonist and the gambler. Make sure, one, you're not pursuing pleasure to the detriment of your health. Don't overindulge, especially at the expense of others. I mean, especially with a Pisces new moon, it could definitely be tempting to drink. But if everybody else around you is not a fan of you when you're drunk, then maybe just hold off. You don't need to do that. If it's your thing in general, and that's where you like to go, it might be the universe telling you it is time to give that up. It is time. You want to manifest the best. If you want to manifest your destiny, well, you can't necessarily do it in a bottle, right? Spirit wants your best foot forward, as was definitely the message with the new moon reading, the cosmic currency that I put out. The gambler shadow is also about relying on luck rather than hard work. So if you want what you want, you have to put the effort forward, right? You have to put the effort forward. It's not all about luck. You know, the universe can tell you it's so close. You know what I mean? Everything you want is so close, but you literally have to make it happen, right? You have to be able to take the steps to go on the journey and start making moves, right? Start making moves. The light attributes of these cards, right? Getting out of the illusion of these. The light attributes inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, and it celebrates the beauty of yourself. It's also a willingness to follow your intuition even when others doubt you. So even if you were to have a bunch of people telling you like you can make it on your own, it would be too hard on your own. Like, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's not that hard. You can definitely get on your own. You know what I mean? You can definitely create some really awesome things. You can create an awesome personal space to really feel healthier in. Especially because if you are, you know, around or in an environment where people are bringing out the worst in you or they're putting stress on you, it's easy to want to crack a bottle of wine kind of thing. But if you were on your own and you were relaxed and you were a little less stressed, you know what I mean, then you wouldn't necessarily feel that way. You know? That problem would kind of end up solving itself in one full swoop, you know, with one big power play. So listen to your intuition. If you know that you need to make a move, then make the move. Just do it. Just do it. If you don't know what information you need, there is someone that you can Google and call that will get you the information you need. You know, just because you haven't done it before, you haven't done it in a really long time, doesn't mean that it's not possible. You know, like I never booked professional movers before. I had no idea how to do that, but I did that. You know, I figured it out. I got it done now. It's scheduled. So, you know, whatever you need to do, don't let fear or doubt be your excuse not to, especially if it's the fear and doubt of other people projecting at you. Don't make it your own. You're capable of amazing things, okay? You're capable of amazing things. So, what is the major arcana, Spirit, please? For power play, what energy do they need to be aware of? Undoing this illusion that maybe they're stuck when they're not, or that it's harder than it is. What's the milestone? Justice. All is fair in love and war. Justice. What a card to get for this. You know, you're due something. You're due something. If Spirit is telling you to go for it, to make the ultimate power play, you got to make it, because your justice is coming in. Your balance is coming in. This could also be a legal card, right? Justice is sometimes tied to the law or things of a legal nature. So this is putting the final stamp on that closing cycle, which, you know, the snake's making that infinity type of loop. It represents just that, you know, the closing of a very long cycle that has literally been looping and looping and going around and around for a very long time. Justice needs to be served, right? It needs to come into balance. It needs to be closed, like case closed. Even if it stings. I'm hearing, even if it stings. Even if people are upset with you or mad at you or don't like it, like, you got to listen to what is best for you, because you know your soul is calling you in a certain way, and your happiness is on the other side. Your joy is on the other side. The beauty of yourself and your life is on the other side. So I think that's big. I think that's big. What else, Spirit? What else do we need to know from our wisdom of the oracles and undoing this illusion? Yeah, co-create. Unfinished symphony. You've got unfinished business with someone. Spirit's trying to birth it into the reality, and it's trying to birth it quickly, because you can see the cheetah up here and the owl here with the egg here, and the egg has a lot of distinct markings on it, like cheetah markings. Like something is coming into the reality fast that's unfinished when this closes, right? Whenever this justice is had, whenever this move is made, okay, the universe has something coming in very, very quickly that's not finished, right? It's not finished, and it needs to come back around, and it's going to birth very quickly in ways that I feel like you don't even understand how the universe is going to pull some kind of miraculous miracle out of its ass with this. I think this has everything to do with your soul song, everything to do with what makes your heart sing, everything. It's the truth in your soul. That's the truth in your soul. Yeah. Whatever this unfinished business is, it sings to your soul song. So if you're undoing the illusion, now you know why. Universe is trying to get this in, right? It's trying to get this in. Is there anything else, Spirit? I'm hearing no. Oh, said look at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, it's time to go. It's time to go. Wow, Spirit. You are so not stuck. You are so not stuck. And I really do keep feeling like Spirit's trying to move high speed. Spirit is trying to move at high speed for you. Don't make excuses or get distracted or overindulge in things. Like, get a move on. All puns intended. Get a move on. Oh, get a move on. That's the fucking facts, right? That is the fucking facts. Your destiny awaits. So I hope that helps getting you out of the fog, out of the illusion, and into your best fucking dreams. Until next time, I love you. Bye. Secret code name number 2, Wild and Free. All right, so here we go. Wild and Free, Astro Dice. What do we got? We got Taurus, 3rd house, and Neptune. Taurus, 3rd house, and Neptune. All right. Uranus is in Taurus, Neptune's in Pisces, and the 3rd house is about communication. Now, with that said, the Neptunian energies in Pisces may be playing on your 3rd house, and Uranus in Taurus may be seriously aspecting it as well, okay, if they're not aspecting each other. This is about being really stubborn in the beliefs and how you're communicating, okay? Because 3rd house and communication, this could be being stubborn in your self-speech, okay? Or needing to seriously become solid, which is the light of Taurus, becoming very solid and stable in your beliefs and seeing how it comes out and how you communicate, right? Everything is a self-conversation. So if you're saying, you know, oh, so-and-so is such an idiot, or you're judging someone else, you know, even if you don't necessarily realize it when you're speaking it because it's just, you know, conversation and words, the truth of the matter is you are always having a conversation about different aspects of yourself. So whoever you would be talking about, there's a part of them that maybe you could have related to at another point in your life. And if you go back to that time in your life and where you were in your mind, you could literally tune into the subconscious beliefs of that person and understand where they are, right? And instead of, you know, saying they're so this or they're so that, you kind of know the underlying message, right? With that person, if they're in that space that they're doing things that are judgeable, you might also, you know, in a sense, realize just how lost or stubborn they are in their own beliefs and how they communicate, right? And how they're having that inner conversation when they're being difficult with someone else and they're saying, well, someone else is this and someone else is that. You know, you could see their mirror, right? You can see their mirror and where they're having a hard time or being stubborn with themselves and their own beliefs. You know, if someone is always giving someone else the benefit of the doubt, right? Let's just talk about that for a minute. If someone is always giving someone else the benefit of the doubt or making excuses for them, and it's not resonating with you, you know, that's your discernment. So what are you doubting or giving too much of the benefit of the doubt to in yourself instead of taking action, taking the bull by the horns, so to speak, with Taurian energy, taking the bull by the horns? You might also want to consider getting a job where you're communicating with the public. It could definitely be social media. It could be media in general, right? And you may say, oh, hell no, I would never be on TV. It's like, no one's saying you have to be on TV, but you might want to start a podcast. You know what I mean? Like, these might be things where you should be communicating with the greater, because Neptune energy, if you think about just the symbol of it, it looks like a satellite dish, like an antenna. You should be putting your message out there. And I think that would be very lucrative for you, to be completely fair. I think that people would resonate to what you have to say or talk about. I think that you might end up being a natural at it. And that might be a great benefit for you with these dice. You know, let your words be wild and free in what you're communicating outwards and helping people understand. Because if you were to even do like a self-help talk show, like a podcast, right, and people could tune in and comment and be active participants in the show, you could literally listen to what other people are saying and understand how to guide them, because one, you've been there before, and two, you understand the mirror, right? If they're saying this person is, non-committal, and, they won't, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, how are you not committing to yourself? How are you putting the focus on someone else and not committing to yourself? It's kind of understanding the same thing, because if you can apply that knowledge to yourself and you can apply it to other people, you could do a lot of good. So with that said, that could be a lot of fun too. We got the Gambler. Yeah, it's not about relying on luck. It's about hard work. This is a willingness to follow your intuition even when others doubt you, including yourself, right? This is doubt override. Oh, really? We had Taurus energy on those dice, and we got the prostitute energy, which the shadow side is placing material considerations and security above self-empowerment. This could truly be filling a void, right? Looking to other people to take care of you financially, or even if you're okay technically on your own or with the help that you have, it's like looking for a partner that brings in financial stability when you need to be creating that for yourself. Think about that. You could be hoping to find a partner that improves your financial situation and be talking about that when really you're the one that needs to improve your own stability. You could be the one that needs to take the chance and do the hard work to empower yourself. Right? This is not about finding a partner who is financially stable or able to contribute per se. You might be the one that truly needs to step up. The light attribute accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. So you just might end up being a complete breadwinner in your relationship, and finding a partner who is non-traditional, in the sense that the roles are almost kind of reversed. Not that they don't make any money at all, but they wouldn't be the breadwinner. Maybe they work part-time. Maybe you find someone whose heart's truly in the right place and loves you for you and all that you do, and you love them because they're the legit partner you've always wanted, minus the whole breadwinner part of the deal, right? Because maybe that is just simply a part of your chart that needs to unlock, that's in your highest good, right? You might seriously need to step it up a notch, your earning capabilities, because if this is the undoing of the illusion, you just might find the perfect breadwinner guy who works his ass off, but he wouldn't necessarily be with a woman who's not that way, because that's how they are, and it doesn't work for them when they're with someone who doesn't work their ass off. So that's the kind of person that you want. You kind of have to rise to that vibration, right? You have to rise to that vibration. What's the tarot, please? What is the milestone card for wild and free? Really, like, if you want the money to travel, you've got to create it. You know what I mean? If you want the money for vacations, you've got to create it. You want the money for nicer things? Yeah, you got to create it. This is the Fool. This is the leap of faith. You got to tell the demons whispering in your ear that, there's some knight in shining armor that's going to fill in all the voids. Like, whatever you're communicating and talking about out loud that you want in someone else, you've got to embody that energy. You've got to embody that energy. Smell the flowers. You got to take a risk, take a leap. You want someone who's a certain way. You've got to rise to meet that person's energy by becoming it. You have to rise to meet that person's energy by becoming it. You're going to have to take a serious leap of faith on yourself. And it just might be in something like podcasts. Not necessarily, but if you already have an idea or are literally like kind of laughing to yourself inside because you kind of always humored the idea of something already where you're communicating openly with other people, this is that time. Because I feel like if you want what you want, it is the only way to get it, to become it. I'm getting that real strong. You've got to become the vibration of what you want to attract. What other message needs to come through, Spirit, for secret code name Wild and Free? I feel like there's more. Yeah, chop wood. You gotta do it. You gotta get your thinking cap on. You got unfinished business, unfinished work to do. 10, 44, and 42. You got shit to do. I think you gotta start brainstorming and putting it into action. I think you gotta start brainstorming because you gotta think about what you know, if you've got unfinished business with someone, you gotta think about what your blocks are. And then you got to get to it, right? Literally, unfinished symphony, the thinker, and chopped wood. You got unfinished business with someone. You got to think about what your blocks are. It's just 11:33 on the timer for your reading. Because I'm, recording these in pieces. But seriously, this is self-mastery. This is about you being able to teach yourself so that you can teach others, right? 33 is a master teacher. So be aware. Be aware. If you can create an awareness of self through understanding the mirror, that what you're communicating out that you want or desire out there needs to first be created from within the self, then you can manifest anything. You can manifest anything by being in alignment with it. You just got to do the work. You got to go through the everyday labor of it. Right? You got to go through the everyday commitment to getting it done. The house needs to be cleaned. It gets cleaned, right? You clean it. If you want to manifest a certain type of partner, well, then you have to put the effort forth and create that partner within yourself, right? This could be a whole new you that you are completely unfamiliar with, a whole new version of self. This is not who you used to be. This is the person that the energy and the vibration that you want to attract, and so you're becoming it. Very chameleon-like. All right. I hope that helps you understand, because you do whatever this is, especially if you do music. I don't know if you do music or not, but if you did music, it might be time to get it out there, because Neptune, Piscean type energy is also very musical. Like, you might have serious gifts and talents to share with the collective, and it needs to start going out. You need to start doing the everyday work and dedicate an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours to your craft, to your responsibilities, to yourself, right? That you're aligning with a certain vibration. You really got to sit and think about what is truly in your way, because the only person on this card is you. Think about that. And Spirit's showing you right here. If you would judge someone else for something, how is your higher self judging you for not doing more? Like, if you would judge someone else, oh, that might be hard for you to swallow. If you're judging someone else because they're not doing what they should be doing, technically the higher conversation your higher self is having with you and waiting for you to realize is you're not doing all you could be doing either. You have shit to do. You have shit to do. You want to be wild and free. Oh yeah. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps get you out of the illusion. I hope that gets you in alignment with your highest financial gain, your highest stability, your shift in the beliefs about the self, that you are fully capable and that you're able to communicate that and create that in the world. So until next time, I love you very much. Very much. Bye. All right, next secret code name is Witch's Hat. And when I got the visual for this hat, do you know the hat that called out the names of each of the houses in Harry Potter? I don't know the name of the hat, but it looked like that. It looked like that. It looked like like a witch's hat. It was all crinkled and big and very old. Like it had this very old ancestral kind of magic energy in it. And that's just the vibration that I got of Witch's Hat. So starting with our Astro Dice, secret code name, Witch's Hat. What do we got? 9th house, Sagittarius, Mars. 9th house, Sagittarius, and Mars. You've got to get super passionate about the journey and moving forward. Blowing your own mind. I'm literally hearing like blowing your own mind. You might actually have to dive deep into like an Akashic recall therapy session, like Akashic recall, to kind of dive in a bit, because there's a lot going on with this kind of energy. Sagittarius rules the 9th house naturally. Mars, who rules Aries, Aries rules the 1st house. It's also tied to Pluto, and Pluto rules the 8th house, which is about legacy. So the self, right, house number 1, and legacy, house number 8. It's self-legacy. And this is mental exploration with Sagittarius and the 9th house. So this is a lot too about what you leave behind, your soul magic for your children, right? The soul fire that you find deep within yourself, the soul fire that you resurrect within yourself, that you are capable of creating a certain life, right? That you are capable of showcasing your magic and your ability to create with your mind, right? The power of your mind, the power of your beliefs, the power of your ability to visualize something here and bring it into form. Whatever you create in this life, you leave behind for your children to inherit, right? So, and it's not just necessarily physical things in the world, it's what they inherit from you and your personality as far as lessons. You know, like my mom was always driven, or, you know, my mom went up against insurmountable odds and made it happen. You know, like my mom was this and my mom was that, and they admire you for that. They want to be that. You know what I mean? It's something that's encouraging. So whatever your magic is, it's really time to let it loose, right? This could also, Mars is in Gemini right now, and Sagittarius has the South node in there. So keep in mind that, and as well as Juno and White Moon, they're also in Sagittarius. So keep it in mind, you know, just keep it in mind. There's a lot of things that you are loyal to in soul, that you are loyal to in belief, that you've got to get super passionate about in order to create it. You know, this is definitely about positive visualization and self-fulfilling prophecy. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you won't. And I think that's something like a Henry Ford quote. Was it Henry Ford? Whether you think you can or you can't, either way, you're right. whether you think you can or you can't. Either way, you are right. Very famous quote. All right. So what's the archetypal energies, please, Spirit? What are the archetypal energies, please? For secret code name Witch's Hat. I've got a few. First one came out was the Goddess. The Goddess. Now the shadow is exploitation of being a woman. Exploiting yourself and your nature for gain. So you don't need to do that, right? If you have a belief, let's just say that in order, to get and keep a man, that you have to be sexual or blah, 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 or using that to get your way, so that it's easier for you, even though it doesn't feel good, you don't have to do that, okay? You don't have to do anything. You're either in the mood or you're not, right? Someone's turning you on or they're not. And if you want something from someone and they're not going to give it to you without you going into that energy, then you need to know that there's a better way, right? You also need to know that there's a better way. Mars energy is also very sexually charged. So open your mind about it just a little bit, because the Sagittarius in the 9th house is about being open-minded. There's more ways to get what you want than taking a sexual route. There's more ways to entice a person's interest or pique a man's interest in becoming or being sexual in energy, being funny and being real and being quirky and being smart and interesting, are also very attractive qualities that men enjoy. Like if it was just sex all the time, like they kind of lose the person that they want to have conversations with, because the sex won't always be there. Men, more often than not, just want someone who can tolerate the fact that they're fucking weird and have interests that a woman is nowhere close to interested in. There's other things that are beautiful about you that you can allow yourself to receive, because the Goddess energy, the light, is the feminine being expressed through wisdom, through nature, through life force energy and sensuality. It's being able to receive the beauty of life experience from others by simply being yourself and allowing yourself to be loved, that others would want to include you, give to you, that kind of thing, that they would want you to be a part of their life just because you're you. Just because you're you, not necessarily just because you're sexual, right? There's more to you than just sex. And if you've been in a relationship where the sexual chemistry was really, really high, you really would never want your partner to think that maybe that's all it was, because there's no other substance to you, right? This is about letting your heart be really big and knowing that the feelings are much deeper than just the physical attraction, like that there's a love shared in soul, not just in body, right? What else do we have? Damsel and networker. The shadow of damsel is waiting for a knight to provide for you. Seduction by romantic illusion. Shadow of the networker is conveying information only for personal gain. It spreads fear and falsehood. Be really aware that you're not posting things on social media because you want it to catch someone's attention or remind them of a time, because you're trying to elicit a reaction or convey that you are something that you're not, right? Not that you're not interested in those things. It's just, is that the only facet of you that you're shining on? Are there not tons of other facets about you besides the romantic or the sexual kind of seducing illusion? Because now the seductions come up twice. You know, so if you're afraid, especially if you're texting or private messaging with people, dating, whatever it is that you're doing, fucking Tinder, you know what I mean? Like, people are out there on Tinder and Snapchat and every other fucking thing. Like, maybe get back to the natural beauty of just being yourself. Maybe in reality, you're a little bit of a tomboy. Maybe you like doing things outside. Maybe you have no problem cutting logs for a fire, you know what I mean? Or building something in the house and repairing a wall, you know what I mean? Maybe it's not all feminine. Maybe, quote unquote, maybe there's things that you like that are typically looked at as more masculine. Like, it's not always about being sexy or beautiful. It's about being real. It's about having interests. It's about having skills. It's about having talent. It's about being compassionate and considerate and, authentic. It's about being authentic. This isn't about putting out there what you think someone else wants to see. It's about putting out there who you are for all to see and letting those who want to see you. Because if someone's like, oh, well, that's who they are, that's not what I like, or she's too this or she's too that, well, they're not for you then. Good. If you are putting on a false illusion, that this is who you are and you're portraying a certain thing because you think it's going to attract who you want, it's not, though, is it? It's attracting people who are drawn to something that's not really you. So just be yourself, right? Just be yourself. Don't feel like you have to be anything or put on a show, because that's just a facade, right? It's just a facade. Just be real. Just be real. If you're a best friend, be a best friend. If you're an awesome sister, be an awesome sister. If you're an awesome mom, be an awesome mom. This is who you are. This is who you are. And the person who loves you in soul is going to love seeing your soul shine through things like social media and not be hidden, not have certain aspects of yourself hidden because you don't think they're attractive or you don't think they're going to draw in the person that you want. Like, the person that you want is going to see all of you and fall in love with you, and that is the right person. If you think that someone's looking on your social media and so you want to portray a certain thing, you're doing it for the wrong reasons, right? You're conveying information only for personal gain, and it spreads fear and falsehood. You're putting it out there and conveying only certain information because you're afraid of showing who you really are. It's about being yourself. It's about being yourself. It's about getting in touch with your magic, your soul magic, your authenticity, your soul fire, what makes you you. You can't exclude parts of yourself. What's the tarot, please, Spirit? What's the milestone? Undoing the illusion. The Magician. We're talking about magic. Elephant energy on the card, like Lord Ganesh, an elephant never forgets. It's in your spirit. It's in your spirit. Just be yourself. You don't have to hide anything. You don't have to be afraid of who you are, that people will think you're weird, or they won't think you're worth being interested in, or they'll be afraid of you. Like, if they don't love who the fuck you are 100%, or you're not intriguing or interesting or fascinating or mesmerizing to them because you're just yourself and you're different and you're not like them, You're an individual. Just be that. Be that. It also reminds me too, in a weird way, of goddess Hecate. Because Hecate, or Hecate, however you want to pronounce her name, is the goddess of the crossroads. And sometimes she's seen with 3 heads, like facing in different directions. And that's just what that reminded me of. Like, you might want to call in goddess Hecate. You might want to call her in if you feel like you're at a crossroads and need to remember your ancestry, because her magic, she's a very powerful goddess energy, and she deals with both the light and the shadow. She's something else, and she's definitely one of my guides and guardians. So that she's coming in for your reading, I would definitely look into her and the power of her, and maybe call her in for guidance, right? The Magician. You manifest your life. You manifest your life. You're manifesting all of your experiences. And if they haven't gone well, it's because you're not being true to yourself, and you're not letting the fear of just being yourself go. You got to let the fear go. What else do we need to know, Spirit? Secret code name, Witch's Hat. What else? Yeah, deep knowing, poised. You know, okay? You know. I've got Owl Wisdom on the card. Moon's on the card. You're being put in a position to fly. You know you've got to be yourself. You know it's just got to be, you just got to put yourself up on a pedestal. You got to put yourself up on a pedestal and love yourself. You got to love yourself. Who you are, put it on a pedestal. You're magic. You've got wings and shit. You're beautiful when you flow. Just let yourself be you. You know who the fuck you are deep in there, and you're not letting it out. You know what you're holding back. You know. Stop it. Stop it. You don't need to be what you think anybody else wants you to be. You just be you. Just exude you. And fucking love it. Embrace that pedestal. Put yourself on it. Put yourself on it. And for the love of God, stay humble. Don't turn into an arrogant dick up there. Stay humble. Love yourself, be yourself, value yourself, put yourself on that pedestal, and know that no one can take you off it. Only you devalue you when you hide pieces of yourself away. Only you tell you that there's things better out there than being yourself, which is why you have to be the things that you're not naturally and authentically, because they're better than, and you're not. Who's devaluing themselves? That's enough of that. So I hope that helps. All right? Secret code name Witch's Hat. I hope that helps. I love you. So until next time. Bye. All right. So the next secret code name is Elephant Spirit. All right. Elephant Spirit. And when I saw the visual for this secret code name, I literally got an image of like an elephant being out on the Sahara, like full-blown face, like regal energy, like long, solid tusks, like the whole bit. Like this was a big, old alpha elephant in spirit coming forward for you. So, Astro Dice, here we go. We got North Node, Cancer and 7, the 7th house, partnerships. Cancer, if you go back to this time last year, the North Node was in Cancer. Okay, so you might have to go back to where you were a year ago with your relationships, especially your relationship with yourself, because Cancer is the sign of nurturance and the home. And the home is synonymous with the self. You might need to seriously love yourself different and nurture yourself different. These aspects, how they play in your chart, what's in your 7th house, how that plays on the Cancerian energy, where your North Node placement is, what's going on right now. Like Cancer right now has Hades and Kronos in there. This is about surrendering to self-love and transformation when it comes to your partnerships. I think you might literally have to maybe even be more nurturing. You know, like, so people have a bad day. Is that a reason to make it worse or a reason to shut your love off for them? You know what I mean? It's like, just because you're having a bad day doesn't give you an excuse not to nurture someone else. And just because someone else is having a bad day doesn't give you an excuse to stop nurturing them. They still deserve love, right? Even if they're rough, even if they're short, even if they're snapping, there's something else going on in their day, because if they love you, they don't intend to take it out on you. They're having a rough day. So simply be the nurturer. Simply be the nurturer, especially if you care about them. Don't punish them further when they're already being rough just because they're being short with you. If they're being short with you and they wouldn't ever choose to be short with you, something is sparking it, and it's obviously coming out on the wrong person. So choose love instead, right? Love wins. Choose love instead. North Node is also in Gemini, because you know what? North Node energy in Gemini, the facts are the facts. You're either a loving partner or you're not. You're either a spiteful, passive-aggressive, claws-out partner or you're not. You know, and that speaks for itself. You can't say you are a loving partner when your claws are always coming out. What's the facts? The facts are you're a claws-out partner. You're a nitpicky partner. You're a give someone a hard time partner. You know, all of the reality speaks for itself. You're not a loving partner if half the time you're not. You're a loving half the time partner, right? So think about it. If someone's having a hard time, you need to pick up the slack, especially around the house. Like, that's your thing and you have the time, then get it done. Your problems are not somebody else's problems. And they don't need to necessarily go ham nurturing your emotional whatever either. Just like someone else's problems are not your problems, don't make their problems your problem by becoming a problem for them. Now they're your problem. They were already having problems. Now you've just become one, and they've become yours because you let it become your problem. You know what I mean? An elephant never forgets. Elephant spirit. This is your higher self saying, you know the way to love. You know the way to happy, harmonious relationships. And over time, if you could love someone through their bad moments, if you cannot hold it against them, if you can have a rough conversation with someone and still cuddle with them in bed, instead of rolling over to separate sides of the mattress kind of thing. Like, yeah, you had an argument, or yeah, you were not seeing eye to eye on things, even though the conversation ended with agreeing to disagree. You both know you still love each other, but it was a rough conversation. Can you not be the bigger person and spoon them? Let them feel lovable? Even if it was a hard conversation. Remind them that you still love them, even if it was a hard conversation. Even if you're having a bad day. What's stopping you from loving? Because any love you would withhold from another, you withhold from yourself. That's the lesson that Kronos and Hades are teaching in Cancer right now when it comes to partnerships. Any love you would withhold from someone else, you are withholding from yourself. Think about that. Every time you withhold an opportunity to love someone, you're withholding love from yourself. You're defining the kind of partner that you are. So, that said, what's the archetypal energy, Spirit? Ooh. Thief. Stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or other powers you think you lack. That could be, you know, not giving them the hug at the end of the night or cuddling with them at the end of the night because you want them to do it. You want them to nurture you. You want them to tell you that it's okay, that you're still lovable, even though you were just horrendous with them. You want to be nurtured. You want to be reassured that you're okay. You want to be reassured that you're lovable because you have insecurity issues that make you feel unlovable, that you would create a situation where you're putting rejection off on somebody else and making them feel like they've got to clean it up when it's like, listen, what are you trying to have them prove? You're literally like taking, someone has worked their ass off all day and you're living with them and they pay for that place and they're having a rough day. You're taking the reward of their hard work. What are you rewarding them with in return? A rough conversation, making them feel like it's not good enough, making them feel like you're still unhappy and they have to nurture you on top of it and reassure you that your love is okay. I guarantee you all that person wants when they come home from a hard day's fucking work paying for everything is a fucking home cooked meal and preferably a clean home to come home to. And if you're not doing that and you're starting little insightful, conversations gone bad so that they validate for you that you're lovable or they're reassuring you, it's because you're not holding up your end of the reward. Where were you this time last year with your partnerships? Not just romantic, anybody you were living with, because Cancer rules the home. Anybody you were living with. Were you not holding up your end of the reward? That it was not equal give and take. That you were technically taking from them and then asking for more because you weren't giving what you should have been giving, what you could have been giving. From a place of gratitude. Thank you. Thank you for providing what I struggle providing for myself. Let me provide for you what is a struggle for you to provide yourself. That's the way. That's the way. We all have strengths. We all have capabilities. We all have shit we're not great at. So when someone is great at what we're not great at, it's not our forte. Can we not show them how grateful we are that we get to experience that by giving them what they can't create for themselves because it's not their forte, or they don't have the time or the energy left after they've done created everything else. Love your partner. Nurture your partner. Be grateful and know that your love and your gratitude and your ability to hold up and create what they don't have time or energy to create means everything to them. They are just as grateful. It is the typical like epitome of the husband and wife. Or the wife, maybe she's not the breadwinner, but she keeps the home clean. She keeps the food on the table. It's cooked. Maybe she packs him a lunch for work so he don't have to think about taking his break time to go get food. Man comes home, he's just grateful that the house is clean, that there's food done, and that the woman is grateful for the house that she's in and isn't nagging the shit out of him to take out the trash when she could have done it. She's home. She could have done it. Unless she physically can't do it, why ain't she? Why? Well, taking out the trash is a man's job. Well, the man is busy working all fucking day to pay the bills so that you have the house that you're in all day. You could take the trash out. It's not that bad. You could do it, right? Man is super grateful. Super grateful. He don't have shit to do when he gets home. He can relax and enjoy his woman. Enjoy his TV. Enjoy a beer. Enjoy an hour of video games. He deserves it. He's worked all fucking day. And he loves you for that. And you get to enjoy it every day. You don't have to go to work and work your fucking ass off like he does, away from the people that you love, like kids. You get to be free all day. Think about that, right? Metaphorically speaking. Whether that's literally what you're dealing with or what you literally have to understand. There is an equal give and take that creates gratitude. If you can do it, just do it. If it bothers you, you fix it. If the trash is bothering you, you take it out. He's not there for it to bother him. He's not bothered by the trash. He's not there. He's out there dealing with the world, dealing with a boss, dealing with coworkers, dealing with stress and things going wrong and the taxes coming out of his check. He's not thinking about the trash. But you are, and it's bothering you. So if it's your problem, you fix it. It's so simple. The light attribute of the thief sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. You really think a man would trade a woman? Do you really think a man would trade a woman who keeps the house nice? Even on days it falls behind. It's not dirty as she says it is. And dinner's cooked. And she's not nagging about anything to do in the home because she's already done it. The trash is already done. The laundry's already done. It's already put away. And he comes home and everything's done and everything he needs is right where he needs it. And she's not bitching. And she says, babe, does your back hurt? Can I rub your shoulders? Do you think that man is going to let her go? How fucking foolish would he be after having relationships gone bad in the past of nagging ass fucking women who expect him to do everything, including deal with their emotional fucking meltdowns and make them feel secure? Like, you'd be a fucking godsend. Really? Think about it. Think about it. Sorry, I went on a total fucking rant. Total rant. I hope you understand exactly what I'm trying to explain metaphorically. It is about equal give and take and fucking gratitude. There we go. We get there in the end. Equal give and take and fucking gratitude. This is about being a nurturing, loving, caring, considerate, grateful partner. That's balance. That is justice. That is when you don't have to worry about the place you're living. Just like your partner doesn't have to worry about the woman who they're not enough for. Because they are enough, and everything they're doing is enough. Everything they're giving is enough. Everything they're offering is enough. It's theirs. Everything they have, everything they make, they're sharing it with you. Because you love and nurture them and you don't give them a hard time for being themselves. That's fair. They're giving you everything you haven't created for yourself. If someone is giving you everything you haven't created for yourself, can you not give them everything they can't create for themselves? Everything they haven't created for themselves. Can that be justice? That two people work together like that and are grateful for each other like that. Fair is fair. Fair is fair. What else, Spirit? Yeah, truth be told. Truth be told, you were wearing a mask. You're wearing a mask, whether the mask was insecurity or self-doubt, or you don't know that you're lovable, whatever it is, the mask that you were wearing, reassure me, remind me, that I'm enough. You're wearing a mask. That's not authentic. Authenticity is gratitude. Truth be told, love goes both ways. Love gets things done. Love doesn't make excuses. Love sure as shit doesn't nag. If you can't get something done yourself, you ask someone who loves you. And if they're not getting it done over and over and over, you figure out a solution. You start asking around, asking people for help. Maybe you start saving up money because you need someone to literally fix something and they're not fixing it. And they're like, oh, well, why'd you spend the money on it? Blah, blah, blah. Well, because I've been asking you to fix it and you obviously don't have the time, energy, or interest, and I needed it fixed. Sorry, it cost money. It didn't have to. Next time something needs to get fixed, if you don't want me to spend the money, fix it. Fix it. If I can't fix it, I'm going to figure out a way to fix it if you're not going to fix it. Create the solutions to your problems. Don't make yourself more problems because someone is not being all of your solutions. True facts. True facts. There's little rose petals flying out of this window in the shape of hearts. Love is what opens the windows of opportunity. And the mask misses it. The wisdom in the owl is trying to help you see through your dark, see through your shadow. So I hope it helps, because this is undoing the illusion, right? This is the readings of undoing the illusion. Because the illusion, the subconscious shit that we don't heal, that we put on other people to heal, that causes nightmares in the reality. It causes nightmares. So, I hope it helps. Secret codename Elephant Spirit. I love you very much. You got this, right? It only takes hearing the truth and seeing the truth in yourself to realize that shit has to be different so that you can catch yourself, right? The next time you wish something was done and you're ready to give somebody a hard time about it, just be like, you know what, I'm just going to do it myself. I'm just going to do it. Now it's not a problem anymore. Done. And all the other problems they're out there handling, I don't have to worry about them either. They're already taking care of it. I don't have to worry about my home. I don't have to worry about a way around. I don't have to worry about food in the fridge. I don't have to worry about any of those things because they take care of it, because that'd be a much bigger problem. So I can handle this and this and this and this and this and this. And when I don't have time for today, I can do tomorrow. I don't got to kill myself doing it all. It's good. So I hope it helps. Bye. All right. Secret code name, Wind Whispers. Wind Whispers. Here we go. Astro dice, please. We've got Sagittarius, Venus, and the 4th house. Sagittarius, Venus in the 4th house. This is about falling in love with the beauty of yourself and your home and everything that is you, and knowing that you being able to get up and do and be adventurous, right? That you can really love the adventure of life from within yourself, and love the adventures that you create even around the home. Like that you would look at life like a joy, or look at life like it's an adventure no matter where you are. That's probably the best energy that you can be in. This is not about quitting on love, because Sagittarian energy in the shadow can sometimes quit, and South Node's in Sag right now, but so is White Moon and so is Juno. So keep it in mind, you know, Venus is in Pisces. Don't get discouraged about things not working out, or that things aren't the way you want, or that they have to happen a certain way in a certain time, and certain things have to go down first, and you know, it's going to take a long time, or it'll never work out if it's not done this way. And you know, this is about really being able to open up your mind and your beliefs to what is super beautiful about you and your environment, and feeling really lucky and blessed, right? This is about feeling really lucky and blessed. Loving your ability to, I'm just getting it over and over again, loving your ability to get around and get out in nature, and also visualize, right? That you would be able to visualize something to make your home more beautiful, or more simple, or organized, or whatever it is, you know what I mean? And then create it, right? And then create it. Sagittarian energy can be very creative, and as far as visualizing and putting things into form. And the 4th house is the house of home. It's the second representation of the self in our natal charts, right? It's the 1st house is the house of self, but the 4th house is the 1st house of the 2nd quadrant, right? So this is the second representation of self, and your home says a lot about you, as it should, and it should say beautiful things. So really think about and dream about all the things you want to do for your home, and create that, right? Create that. All right, here we go. Archetypal cards. Wind whispers. Wind whispers. Ooh. We got the trickster. It always reminds me of Gemini in energy whenever I get this card. The shadow attribute is manipulating others through duplicity. Understand that saying one thing and doing another is technically a form of manipulation, even if you're unconscious of that, right? Even if you're not aware that you're doing that. To say what you feel and to say what you mean, but then do something against it is technically manipulating the mind of another, because they're trying to understand why you would say certain things or feel certain things, but then do other things that don't make sense, right? It leaves a lot of room for error. You have to be able to stay true to your word, because it's becoming predictable. Right, the light attribute of the trickster, in order to get out of that shadow, right, to undo the illusions that you're dealing with in your reality, it's about transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior. It's very predictable. You have to do, in essence, what is not predictable, and that is sticking to your word and how you feel, or allowing how you feel and your words to mirror your actions and how your actions are being perceived or received, right? You're gonna have to figure that. You're gonna have to figure that out. This is like telling someone you need a break and you don't want to be involved with them, and yet no matter what happens, you still end up talking to them or are involved with them. Okay, so if they're still around, you know what I mean, but you don't want them to live with you, it's like, okay, well, you don't want to be without them though. You say you do, but your actions say otherwise. Your actions don't actually want to be without them, because you're not actually cutting them off. So instead of cutting them off, you know what I mean? Why don't you offer them home? If you want them around all the time, let your actions show that. Let your words show that, you know? And it's maybe you're expecting things in a certain order when really what you want would happen if the things were done out of order. You know what I mean? Think about that. Because this is the universe calling you out on some trickery shit that you might not realize you're doing. So you've got to pick one. You can't be half in one and half in another, because it's not fair to anybody. Not you, not anybody else. You're gonna have to do the unpredictable, one way or the other. And you're gonna have to figure out which side of the fence you fall on. It's also telling you to get rid of stuffiness. So when I read that out loud just now and said that, I heard all the stuff back there, all the stuff in the mind, the fears, the doubts, the worries, the disbelief, the impossible, like all that stuffiness. It makes you stuffy. You know what I mean? Think about that one. All right, what's the tarot? What's the tarot say? Milestone. Greed. Greed. I'm hearing share the wealth. And this has to do with the home. You might need to let love in. The fourth house of home with Venus and Sag, you might need to take a leap of faith. You're withholding. Like, you can't let someone go and you want them in your life all the time, but yet you won't let them into your home and into your life in that way, but you're holding all of that wealth to yourself and not sharing it with who you love. Because, you know, there's certain expectations, this way, this way, this way, this way, first. And it's like, yeah, but you need to open your mind and expand your mind. Spirit said, well, people do things that are not in alignment when they're unhappy. But if you put someone in an environment where they could truly be happy, do they do all the things that weren't making them happy before? Are they around all of the people that they're, you know, aligned with in their unhappy state? Or are they aligning with you in a happy state? Like, Spirit's trying to maybe get you to see things a little differently. Like, you're gonna have to pick. You're truly gonna have to pick whether or not you want who you want or what your ego thinks it wants. This is about what your soul wants and what your heart wants, not about what your mind wants. Because whoever you're dealing with, whatever this Venus is tied to, you're holding all the chips and you're not giving them any. You know what I mean? Like, you're holding all of the power and not giving them any. And so they're reflecting back to you a powerless state. They're reflecting back to you a powerless state, which essentially comes and reflects your inability to use your power. Your power, choice, alignment, actions, aligning with words. If your words are not matching your actions and your actions are not matching your words, then you are not in your power. You are in a powerless state. Trying to manipulate everything to be a certain way. And Spirit's like, yeah, but that way's not working, is it? I guess there must be another way. Oh, it's the way your ego doesn't want at all. Oh. Okay. Spirit said so. So your ego doesn't want it. Your soul does. Just saying, you can hate this message. You can hate this message all you want. I'm telling you, there's a reason why these cards are coming out. There is a reason why these cards are coming out. You have become and gotten predictable. And someone is looking at you like you're greedy, and yet you're looking at them like their behavior is selfish and greedy and inconsiderate of you. Why is that the mirror? Time for you to take action. Yang. Yeah, soulmate. You gotta see. You gotta see in your shadow. What's your moon sign? You got to see how the shadow of your moon is hurting you and start focusing on the light of that sign. Got soulmates, observer, and yang. You got to see your own shadow. If you're looking at someone else like their behavior is selfish and inconsiderate, then your behavior is also selfish and inconsiderate of them. You're a penguin. You're one. They're holding the key. You're holding the key. You got to see how you're robbing yourself. How your shadow is getting the best of you, and you got to start making a move. Making a move. Sagittarian energy, you got to start making a move. You got to create. Yang, you got to create with your actions. You've got to be all in or all out. Because this is halfway. Half-assed. Half. Go all or go home. That's stuff to think about. I hope that helps. I hope that helps. I know that might trigger the shit out of you too. Ones, fours. Ones and fours. Might be syncing up for you. And the number 23 might be significant too. So I hope it helps. I love you. I love you and I support you. But if you're going to undo the illusion, then this is the guidance that Spirit has for you. So until next time. Bye. So, secret code name Waves. I thought I was recording for the last like 5 or 7 minutes of your reading. And I wasn't. So, I'm sorry. I have your Astro Dice rolled, and I have your Archetype card out here, and I have your Tarot card, your milestone out here. So let me recap for you. Your Astro Dice, we've got 3rd house, Sagittarius, and the Sun. All right. 3rd house, Sag, and the Sun. This is about being blunt. The light of Sag just fucking says it. 3rd house is communication. Sag is known for being blunt and saying things that when they think them, like, say first, think after, you know, like, oh, maybe I could have said it better. Oh, maybe I could have said it this way. Like, Sag, you just need to say it. You need to say it the way you feel it. Like, you gotta be honest. You gotta be blunt. It just is, right? If this is the undoing the illusion readings, you just have to say it. Spit it out. If you want something done, ask. You know, I was given the metaphor because the shadow of the Queen, when we get into the Archetype card, the shadow of the Queen is becoming arrogant when authority is challenged, controlling and demanding. It's like, if you're not asking someone outright for what you want, people are not mind readers. Okay? We would love if they were. And we could say, but I dropped so many hints. And it's like, yeah, but when people drop hints, it gives room in the subconscious mind of other people's and what they think about to say, oh, well, maybe they didn't mean it. Oh, well, maybe they meant this. Oh, well, maybe they meant that. Maybe. Except when you just ask outright, there are no maybes. It's like wanting someone, and this is the analogy I used, wanting someone to take the trash out. And you hint, God, the trash smells. You know, can you maybe take it out later? Don't forget to take it out before the end of the night. Well, that person is going to forget. So ask them to do it now. Be like, hey, can you take out the trash right now? It stinks and I'm in the middle of this or the middle of that. Be like, yeah, I'll get it in a minute. Be like, okay, you can get it in a minute, just don't forget, because if you forget, chances are I'm going to get pissed later and I'm going to be annoyed and I'm going to start nagging at you, and I know you don't want that, so spare yourself, right? Don't forget. Unless you want to hear me go crazy. And they'll laugh like, yeah, I bet you would go fucking crazy. You know what I mean? And they'll remember, and in a minute, they'll pick it up and they'll take it out. Just be like, yeah, because the longer it sits there and I smell it, I'm going to start losing my shit. And I literally am in the middle of this and I can't take it out, or I would. And I asked you to take it out yesterday. So, just saying. I don't like to become a monster, but I will become the monster. Like, you know what I mean? Because Sag has an element of fun to them too. So don't get it twisted. Like, you can have fun with the truth. Just be like, do you want the scary monster to come out? No? Okay. You can do it now. You can do it now. Because if I have to ask one more time, the scary monster is coming out. Just saying. You were warned. Still love you. You were warned. And you just let things get done. Ask people to do it. Keep a smile on your face. Hold all intents and purposes of being dead serious. You know, it's just that kind of energy. Like, Sag is fun, Sag likes to play, but Sag just says it like it is. You know, if you want someone to rub your feet because they fucking hurt, just be like, hey, if we're sitting here on the couch watching TV, can you rub my foot? It fucking hurts. You don't gotta like rub it hard, just rub it enough, you know what I mean? Like, oh, feet freak me out. You can rub it with my fucking sock on. I'll put a new clean sock on. Just please, for the love of God, rub my fucking foot. You know, like, I don't care how we get it done. Can we please just do it? You know? And it's like, just say it. And if someone is calling you too much, maybe you got to tell them, like, listen, I love you, but you call me so often, it's distracting me. I can't get my shit done. Like, I love you, but you got to figure out what to do with your time. You're talking to me about all these things, and I'm sure it's taking things away from you that you need to get done. Or, you know, if you need to tell somebody that you love them, maybe you just need to express it more. Just be like, you know what? I fucking love you. I love you. Thank you for taking out the trash. Thank you. I love you. I appreciate you greatly. Thank you. Can you light a candle? Just say what you're feeling. Just say it. If you can feel it, say it. You know, it's always the one, and it's one other thing too that I was thinking about. And it's like, how many times have we said to people, like, I wish you just would have told me. Like, really? You picked up that? I wish you would have told me. If you told me, I wouldn't have, I might not have listened, but I wouldn't have definitely taken it to the bitter fucking end. You know what I mean? Like, I might have left sooner. I might have dealt with it or handled it differently had you said something. So if someone has said it to you, like, oh, I wish you would have told me, you know what I mean? Like, I wish you would have told me. It's like, well, don't hold back. Don't hold back. Truth and love are synonymous. The best love you can give people is the truth. If you're feeling something, something's pinging off in you and your intuition, something in your gut's telling you, instead of biting your tongue, just say it. And they can deny it. No, you're wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. No, it's not like that. But the fact of the matter is, they are in denial with you and projecting denial at you, but you're right. But on some level, you were right, and they might just tell you that later. The truth sets people free. Just be fucking honest. Be honest and real. Best advice, getting out of the illusion. Best advice. The light attribute of the Queen is radiating the regal feminine, allowing yourself to receive because your presence commands it. She uses her benevolent authority to protect others. The fact that she loves them is what protects them. Like the example of taking out the trash. If you forget, I'm gonna turn into a crazy bitch. I'm just saying, and I love you. I don't want to do that. I will turn into crazy psycho bitch over the trash. I promise. You know I will. You know I will. And the fact that you can laugh about it, love them after, thank them after, you're grateful after, like, you just protected them from a negative experience. You protected yourself from a negative experience. And the fact that you're getting things done too, that they're not allowed to just sit and not do things and just sit and forget because you're busy doing, running around like a chicken without a head. You know what I mean? Like, you're getting things done. They know all the work you put in. That's why you are who you are in their life. Because they can trust in you. They know you get things done. You just got to be able to say it. You know what I mean? If that's who they are and that's the type of person they are, then that's fine. You just say it. You know, the milestone card, we got the sun. Here comes the sun. Do 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 do. Here comes the sun. I said, it's all right. Just shine. Shine super bright. And the sunflowers, they always face the sun. You shine bright, and all your little sunflowers will always look to you. They'll always admire you and your light, because you're always shining. They'll always look in your direction. The sun is a beautiful healing energy. It's when the whole world tends to feel like it's opening up and blooming. You know, times when our earth is revolving around the sun and we're further away, it's cold. We love when the sun gets close. It's warm and it's beautiful. So just shine bright so that you don't have to be a cold and heinous monster. Flipping out. To be brutally honest. Like, you know I will lose my shit. I love you, but you know me. I will lose my shit. It makes me crazy. Get it done. You might want to get it done now. If you forget, it's going to be 10 times worse for you later, I promise. Right? Real note. Real note. You're allowed to receive. Sometimes you just have people in your life that need to be told. And that's fine, because when they're told, they do it. And as long as they do it when they're told, you're good. You're good. Yeah, you need a hand, ask. You need help, ask. Laundry needs to get done and you're behind because you got a million other things that you were legitimately doing, ask. Be like, hey, the laundry's in there. Do you mind picking up everything that you see in there and just throwing it in the laundry machine? Just throw it in there. Throw some soap in there, pop it on 40 minutes, whatever the fuck it is. Just throw them in. Make sure the water's on cold. Ask. You need help bringing in the groceries? Hey, everybody, I need a hand. We're bringing the groceries in. Put them on the counter. You don't need to do it all yourself. Whatever they're doing can wait. Unless they're legitimately doing something that's already helping you out. You need a leg up? Ask for help. People do not read minds. And if you don't ask, people will assume you got it and you're fine. Because if you weren't fine, you'd ask. So if you're not fine, just say something. There will be times when you're good and you don't need help. Those times will be rare and far and few between if you never get help, especially when you do need it. Create the waves. Let the loving truth just shine out. Let the loving truth just shine out from a loving place, because you don't want to go crazy on anybody. You don't want to be stressed out. You don't want to be controlling the environment with your behavior, letting everybody know you're tired, letting everybody know you're moody, letting everybody know you're exhausted because you did this and you did that and you did this and you did that all day. And your energy is controlling the room in a negative way because you didn't fucking ask for help all day. Because you did it all yourself. Whose fault's that? You certainly wouldn't be sitting there exhausted and moody and tired on top of it if you had help. Just ask. Just ask. Straight up. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps. Let the light shine. So, I love you very much, and I will see you next time. Bye. All right, secret code name, mic check. Here we go. Astro dice, spirit, please. Got Mercury, Pisces, and the 6th house. 6th house is about service and health with Mercury in Piscean energy. Mercury is in Aquarius right now. It's about to move into Pisces. So I would get super ready coming up over the next couple weeks if you're called to communicate in the house of service, right? In the house of service, that would be good for your health as a spirit, right? As a soul, something that feels good, that you're being called to communicate a part of your subconscious, right? The things that are going on in the mind or that have wheeled around in the mind that need to be brought into the consciousness, manifest. Piscean energy is also known for the shadow of drinking. So be aware if drinking is affecting your health and that is being communicated with you, or you've already had a feeling that the drinking was not good and spirit's kind of letting you know. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. Also be aware if there's certain things going on with your throat chakra or your voice, with Gemini being the ruler of Mercury, you know, communication and the throat chakra. Just be aware of what you could be manifesting physically for your soul and your service not being in full power or full projection. Really, so even as I'm trying to speak, my voice feels like it's leaving me. It wants to leave. So listen, if you're not fully expressing your soul and the things that have gone on in your mind, all the things you wish or would do that you haven't done, you got to let go of the things that are in the way of that, especially if they're affecting your throat chakra, your throat, or your health. These are the undoing the illusion readings. Maybe you are spending way too much time on things that are actually bad for your health. And you might be in denial about that. Or even be communicating that you don't care when you do, because Pisces says one thing but means another, and it's shadow. So be aware of that. You're saying you want one thing, but you're doing things that are counter to it. You know what I mean? So just be fully aware of that. Archetypal cards. Spirit, what is the shadow and what is the light? How do we get out of the illusion? For secret code name, mic check. And it's almost like if you think, mic check, like, can you hear me? It's throat chakra. It's almost like your soul is like, can you hear me? Like, hello? Can you hear me? Truth. Teacher. Now, the shadow of teacher is manipulating or abusing students or teaching negative traits and destructive skills. Saying one thing and doing another is technically a manipulation, right? If you're telling other people how to best live their life and do what's best for them, but you are not doing what is best for your life or what is best for you, no one's actually going to take you seriously or heed your lessons. Because what kind of teacher teaches but doesn't take their own advice? Doesn't do what's best for them? It's manipulative to think that you can tell other people how to live their best life or make their highest good choices, but you're not doing it and it's obvious to them. Think about that for a second. If people don't take you seriously like you think you should be taken seriously, then you're not taking yourself seriously. You may not be taking your health seriously. 6th house. And you're teaching people it's okay to not heed the best advice they could be given from spirit. Especially if you're spiritually in tune with the advice you're giving other people. You're teaching them it's okay to ignore it, that spirit's not important. That you being their earth angel and bringing forth those messages from a place of love is not important, because they could give you advice and you wouldn't take it. You got to focus on your health. And if you have people around you that are in bad health, that don't necessarily take your advice or wouldn't, like you wouldn't even suggest things because they wouldn't, like maybe people aren't suggesting things to you because they just know you wouldn't listen. The mirror is a bitch, but it is crystal fucking clear. There's a reason why you're watching people physically suffer and how much it sucks, because there's certain things about your health that you're neglecting, and it's not beyond repair, or you wouldn't be receiving this message. The light attribute is your ability to communicate knowledge from experience, skill, or wisdom. You've got to be able to communicate what you know because you've experienced it. You know things aren't impossible because you took a seemingly impossible thing that was impossible for you before. Oh, I could never quit this, or I could never quit that. I could never. Yeah, but if it meant saving your health and it meant not suffering, you got the shit done. You know what I mean? And other people will take you more seriously. Well, if they did the impossible, I guess I can too. Well, if they made it a priority and got it done, like, well, I guess I can make what they're saying a priority and get it done. Obviously, what they did helped them. It can help me too. Taking their advice might help me too. If they took their own advice and it helped them, maybe if I take their advice, it will help me. People aren't going to take you seriously unless you start living it, right? Applying the spiritual knowledge, Piscean energy, applying the spiritual knowledge. Yeah, intention. This is a special major arcana for this deck. It is card number 25. Because what is your true intention with yourself? Do you really love yourself, or are you trying to sabotage yourself? Are you trying to live a beautiful life to the best of your ability? Or are you just cutting yourself? Mic check, mic check. Can you hear me in the back? I gave an analogy in the live I did about the integration lesson, the dark mirror. I said people can be harsh, but it's like cutting the back of their leg and then telling them to run a mile with a weak and bleeding out leg. Why? Why are you cutting the back of your leg and making yourself run a mile called life? It's harder. It's more painful. Your body is weaker. It suffers through it. This is a metaphor, right? I'm talking metaphorically here. You're essentially cutting your spirit and telling others to believe. Why would anybody believe the person who's cutting the back of their leg and running a mile? Who does that? No one's going to take advice from the person who tells others to run a mile with their leg cut. It's healthier. No, it's not. Drink some water, take some lovin', hydrate yourself, then go run the mile. It's good for you. You don't need anybody pulling you in a wagon. That'll do nothing for your health. It'll just exhaust the person pulling you. Because that's what's going to happen. The person with the cut leg is going to end up needing someone with a wagon to drag them, and that's no good for the person in the wagon. It's no good for the person having to pull their weight. Someone's going to have to take care of you, especially if you know what it's like to try and take care of others who are not well. Who are you going to end up putting your health on? Who's going to be the one exhausted pulling you in the wagon to the end of the mile of this life? Is that a fair burden to put on someone you care about, that obviously cares about you enough to pull it? Is it fair to them? What's your intention? Do you want to live a hard life? You want to live a beautiful one? Do you want to inspire? Or do you want to burden? You want to inspire others, or you want to be a burden for others? I'm telling you right now, if you want a soulmate to live and grow old with, do you think your soulmate's going to want someone who does not give a fuck about their health? That they're going to end up being your caretaker? Or they're going to worry about losing you young? Do you think anybody wants to really invest in that person? Think about it. Let's get real. Your health is coming up. It's an issue. It's an issue. 6th house, that's an issue. And you might have been getting messages from people. Maybe you've been avoiding listening. Maybe you don't want to hear it. Maybe it's stupid levels of stubborn. You're sabotaging yourself. And that's fine if that's your intention, if you want to. But self-sabotage is a painful path. It sucks. I mean, if that's what you want, that's what you want. What else, Spirit, please? Secret code name Mike check. You gotta find something else to do at your time besides things that ruin your health. Yeah, building blocks. You've got to rebuild your foundation solid. You've got to build a solid foundation. You want a future, a solid future. This woman here is looking to the future. You want a solid future? You got to build a solid foundation. You can't build a solid future on an unstable, unpredictable foundation. Who wants to build their castle on top of sand? Well, that's what bad health is. It's like trying to build the future on sand. Your health is the foundation. Spirit said, what future would you build? With who? What future? You're going to give them that foundation? No. Spirit said no. They deserve better than that. So what future do you want to build? It's about your health. This is about your health. You've got to start putting the pieces back together. You got to be able to readjust so that your past isn't coming back to haunt you later. Because all this shit that's bad for your health that you did yesterday, the day before, early this morning, it's all technically past now. The past comes back to haunt us. So what future are you building? What's your intention? The advice you would give others? You need to take better care of your health. You need to eat better. You need to do this better. You need to stop drinking so much. You need to do blah, 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 blah. Are you even taking your own advice? Don't give advice you wouldn't take. And if you're gonna give advice, you gotta take it. That's how the mirror works. It's how the mirror works. Trust me, I know. That's why I literally have nothing left but an e-cig. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't nothing. Hell, I don't even like taking a Tylenol. My body feels great though. I feel super healthy. You know, I wouldn't be able to sit here and tell you to get your health in check if I wasn't in good health. I haven't smoked a cigarette, anything, in months. Haven't had a drink in God knows how long. Just me. And it feels great. I don't gotta worry about anybody else later on in life having to take care of my fucking ass because my health is shit. It's just a big reason why I quit. I was thinking about my son. I was thinking about my partner. I gotta be in good health for them. I don't want to be their burden. I don't want to be what they worry about, losing young. Trust me, I might be 35 years old, but 50 is young to lose a parent. 60, 70, still young to start dealing with health problems. And now all of a sudden your partner and you can't travel because you're not a healthy 70. You're a physically health crippled 70. What's your intention for your future? I hope this helps. I hope that helps. I love you. I love you. So, until next time. Bye. All right, so secret codename Shamrock. Here we go. Astrodice Spirit, please. Capricorn, 6th house, and the sun. You need to take initiative and start being the director of your life when it comes to your health and your service to others. Big time. Capricorn, in its shadow, is the dictator. The dark and gloomy pessimist, so to speak. But the light of Capricorn gets shit done. They fucking know what to do and they need to get shit done. So if we're talking about the sun, right, the light of Capricorn, you've got to be able to take initiative and start getting things done. And if you can't get everything done, you need to start telling other people what they can do in order to reach a goal. You know, not dictate, but delegate, right? So that things can be better. If you need help, ask for help, but you're going to have to take the lead on this. In the 6th house of health and service, this is about not just getting in alignment what is healthy for your soul, but how that connects with humanity, right? How your health and your spirit connects to your service of others. So whatever it is that you're doing, or what you're desiring to create, like, you've got to start putting that foot forward, right? You've got to start putting that foot forward. I feel as if you might have a lot of great ideas on how to help serve others and that you need to really step up. That you need to step up. If it's concerning the health of other people that you're concerned about and they need help, then you have to start being the leader and stepping up and getting it done, because this, whoever you're dealing with is doesn't have the strength to direct their life. Like, you've got to start calling the shots, right? Capricorn energy, you have to call the shots. When it comes to health and how focusing on that serves other people, right? Whatever is the natal ruler of your 6th house, you might want to really look into the light of that sign, the light attributes of that sign and what you have to offer, and start using them in a very directive kind of way to work in the highest good of all, right? Depending on what your sun sign is, and what rules your 6th house. Start using them with each other, the light attributes of whatever your sun sign is and whatever the ruler of your 6th house is. Capricorn energy is about taking charge and calling shots. So it might just be your lucky day, Shamrock. You start getting shit done. It just might work out really fucking well for you. Just saying. Just saying. Trust the steps that you want to take. Trust the changes that you want to make. Just trust and do it. Just start doing it and applying it to the reality, right? Don't talk about it anymore. Get it done. Get it done. What else do we need, Spirit? Archetype card. The Hermit. The shadow is withdrawing from society out of fear of negative judgments or others, or refusing to help those in need. You've got to take charge and stop being afraid to help people. Stop thinking that your opinion or your service or whatever it is, your service, right? 6th house doesn't matter, or that couldn't help people. Why are you afraid that out there would reject your service? You're being guided for a reason. Bring it into form. Bring it into form. Don't be afraid and lock your service away. Lock your soul calling away. Real note here. Don't withdraw or think you don't matter, or that your ideas don't matter. The 6th house is typically ruled by Virgo. This is your authentic path. This is the step-by-step thing that you have to build and bring into form. Not surprised, it's the Hermit card. It's Virgoian energy, 6th house. Draw on your Capricorn energy in your chart as a strength. Draw on your Capricorn energy as a strength and your sun sign as a strength to serve. Whatever you need to put out there for other people, just start getting it done. Brainstorm, make a list. What do you need? Start checking off the things you need to get it done. Start putting it together. Who do you need to connect with? Who do you need to talk to? Who do you need to network with? Who can help you? Who can work with you, for you, to get this done? Get passionate about it. This is your authenticity. This is the mark that you leave on the world. The light attribute seeks solitude to focus intently on the inner life and serves personal creativity. You gotta brainstorm. You've got to brainstorm. You got to stop letting everybody else's ideas shift and change what you're trying to create. The solitude, the seeking solitude to focus intently on the inner life, like you need to be able to take your ideas and put them out, plan them out, and start creating it. And if someone else says, oh, it would be so cool if it were like this, or it would be so cool if it were like that, be like, okay, then you have a project to do. This is the one I'm doing. Let's do it my way. I have a feeling it's just going to fucking work. Why do you feel like it could just fucking work? I don't know, because your secret code name is Shamrock? Is it your lucky fucking day? That whatever you manifest might just turn to fucking gold? For you and everybody else, spiritually speaking, spiritual fucking gold? Maybe literal wealth. Capricorn does rule a lot of finances. Income earning capabilities. What you offer as a service to others might just very well be lucrative. Fall in love with it. Fall in love with it. Get super creative. Let it be your baby. Whatever you're creating, it's your baby. You're running the show. Yeah, vision. And Wheel of Fortune. We're talking abundance here. We're talking money here. Change of fate here. We're talking luck here. Wheel of Fortune is ruled by Jupiter. It's the planet of luck. This is your vision. I said it's your baby. Hell, you want to open up an Irish fucking bar? Serve green beer? Start getting it ready so it can be open by this time next year. You like to cook Irish food? I don't know. Open up a fucking kitchen. Start serving people. Make that old school cabbage and ham and fucking potatoes. I shit you not. Whatever it is that you're good at, however you could serve others, I don't know. I'm throwing ideas out there. I'm just saying. You've got some lucky fucking energy. It's gonna work. Whatever it is, whatever this is that you put your mind's eye to create, it's gonna fucking work. The only person in denial of that is you. Oh, it's too hard. It's too much work. Capricorn energy, it is not too much work. It is not too hard. It is doable. Or other people wouldn't have been able to do it. So what are you waiting for? You don't need help. You need a to-do list and you need to start checking the shit off. Who do you need to contact? How much is it actually going to cost to start renting a place? What do I need to get a loan to start a business? Write down all your recipes if you're opening up a restaurant. Write down all the different beers you want on tap. Look into a liquor license. Like, see what you need. See what you need so that you can start aiming for those things. It'll never get done if it stays in your head. And with disbelief. Oh, no one would come. No one would work. It's too much of a struggle. Bullshit. You have an atmosphere in your head. Create it. Create it. People would fucking love it. I know because Spirit's telling me. People would love it. It would be lucrative for you. It would be very lucrative for you. I keep hearing the word lucrative. Yeah, co-create. This, your moon sign might be telling you to take a break from the life you're living, that you need to rest. It's too hard on you. And maybe it is, because whatever you're doing isn't what you're meant to be doing. You need to brainstorm. This rest, the take a nap card, whatever your moon sign is, you need to focus on the light of that sign. Stay clear of the shadow of that sign. But you need to focus on its light. You need to use it to your benefit and co-create with Spirit. Co-create. The universe will line up things in your favor like you don't even fucking know. Your lucky fucking stars. Your lucky fucking cards. Your lucky dice. Your lucky code name. Spirit, don't worry about what you think you can't get done. Don't worry about what you think is impossible. It's so not impossible. We're talking about the universe here. Figure out what you want to do. Figure out what you want to do. And then do it. And then do it. Create something fucking awesome. Create something awesome. Because whatever you're doing, running yourself into the ground, exhausting yourself, really, we got card number 24 here, card number 24 here, card number 40 here, Wheel of Fortune's card number 10. We got lots of 2s and 4s. You got shit to do. You got a life to change. And in changing your life, you're going to change the lives of others. Like, let's just say you opened up an Irish fucking bar, a little hole-in-the-wall bar with some awesome small menu, awesome food, and some nice drink specials where you can get creative as a bartender. You can get creative with the menu. Have a couple things that are staples, have a couple things on rotation that are seasonal. You might change somebody's life. They might meet the love of their life in that bar. They could eat food that tastes like their mom made, and it reminds them of a great time in their life, and they come with their friends and they just fucking love this place. You can do it. You can do it. You could be someone's safe haven. Maybe at home they have a terrible nightmare to go home to, but they come to where you opened and everything is great and they enjoy the atmosphere and they enjoy the music, and you know what I mean? Like, whatever it is that you're meant to create, you better know by the time this reading's done that you're meant to create it. You're not meant to deny it. You can. You're not meant to. You're meant to create it. It's meant to be your vision, your way. You're meant to run the show. You're meant to be the boss. You're meant to earn and profit from it. I hope that helps. I hope that helps. All right. Well, until next time, I love you. Bye. So, secret code name Sparrow. Here we go. Sparrow is a beautiful little songbird, and I love them. So be mindful if Sparrow, animal medicine, is crossing your path. You might want to Google them. Be reminded of it every time you see them. Astro Dice, please, Spirit, for Sparrow. Got Mercury, 5th house, and Cancer. Fifth house is the sign or the house of creative energy and sexual energy. It's Kundalini energy is how I would describe the 5th house. It's about the Kundalini awakening. It's about finding your passion. It's a house that's naturally ruled by Leo. It's where you can put your heart and soul. It is the thing that we get fired up about. This with Mercury and Cancer, you might seriously have a passion for helping people. You might have a passion for being a listener, right? People always tell you, you know, I always end up listening, you know, or I'm not listening to you so much as I'm glad you always listen. You know, like people intrinsically feel like you're kind of like a therapist. You know what I mean? Like people kind of treat you that way. Like, everybody tells you their problems and you understand and you care about them. Like, you know what I mean? And you might be very good at it. You know, you might be a very great nurturer when it comes to your choice of words. You might be very empathic, very sympathetic, very considerate when it comes to others and how they feel. And it might just be something you're naturally really good at. And whenever you do it, and you feel like you were able to reach someone, like that's very filling for you on a soul level. Like it fills your heart. You're really glad that you were able to be there and listen to them and talk to them and help them through a bad time. You might seriously want to consider doing that more often. Possibly even be getting paid for it. Because the thing about Leo energy, 5th house, can feel taken for granted. That they give a great deal of their heart, but they don't necessarily feel like it's being returned to them. So it is about an equal exchange of energy that does need to take place so that that doesn't happen. You may want to consider marketing yourself as an unlicensed therapist who just will sit there and listen. You have no certification, whatever. You're just a person who's a really good listener who will tell you like it is, where a therapist might not necessarily be able to do that. You know, you're not a medical professional, but you're an empath and you're an ear. And if people just want to pay you to sit down and be quiet and listen, fine. I'm not a medical professional. I don't offer medical advice. If I feel like you should be seeing a medical professional and whatever you're dealing with is beyond what I care to involve myself with, I'm going to tell you. You might be better off talking to a professional. I don't think I have the capabilities to handle this. Marriage counseling, couples counseling, yeah, I'll tell you who's right and who's wrong. Fuck yeah, I will. Counselor might not, but I'll tell you. I get it. I empathize. I understand you and I understand you. I could see where you're coming from and I could see where you're coming from. This interaction's not healthy. This is how you can fix it. You might actually get paid for your time. Get paid for your time. Word of mouth after a while? Oh yeah. My friend Sparrow, oh yeah. You go and talk to her, trust me, she has a knack for understanding people. She'll tell you exactly what you need to hear. She knows. It's like she intrinsically knows. I don't know what it is about her, but she's great. And she's practically free. It's so inexpensive compared to a therapist. For $20 an hour or $30 an hour, she'll sit and listen. Fuck going to a therapist. They're a couple $100 an hour. But everybody's got $20. Yeah, she'll sit with you for an hour. And all of a sudden you're making money doing what you fucking love. And you don't feel taken for granted because you're getting fucking paid. You're not wasting your time just giving your energy to people when they want it. Because I'm sure you probably have people that complain, like, you spend so much time talking to so-and-so. What are they doing for you? This needs to get done. That needs to get done. You're wasting your time. And in your mind or your heart, you're like, yeah, but I really helped them. But now you feel bad because, everything else went to shit. But if you made $20, you can order a fucking pizza. Fuck dinner. You know what I mean? Like, so what? Nobody's going to complain. You're making money. You're fucking working. No one can complain if you're working. You're busy working. You're making money. $20, $30 an hour? Who the fuck is going to complain? Who makes that much money? Especially if someone's been telling you to get a job or you've been thinking about getting a job. Go on Vistaprint and make yourself some business cards. I just have a thing for understanding people. This is my rate per hour. This is my hours of availability. Yes, I'll even talk to couples. Yes, I'll even talk to family members. Yes, we could do group sessions. No, I am not a medical professional, nor do I claim to be, and I have no certifications. I'm just a person good at what I do. For 20 or 30 bucks, what have you got to lose? It's better than fucking therapy. Plus, if you're seeing me and talking to me, I'm no different than a fucking friend. You don't have to tell anybody in your family that you're seeing a shrink. You don't have to be embarrassed. You're not seeing a therapist. You ain't seeing a shrink. But you are seeing someone who just understands people, and you know what? You've learned a lot about yourself. You know? Your schedule's your own. You could book things or not book things. You could be fucking busy. You could put that money away for a rainy day. You could save it for a goddamn vacation. You can upgrade your car. Get a fucking maid to come once a week and vacuum everything and clean all your counters. Make sure the house is fucking clean. So all you gotta do is the fucking laundry and fucking cook. Because there's a lot of home cleaning services that will clean your home for 50 bucks. $100, depending on how big your house is. Well, if you worked 10 hours a week for 20 bucks an hour, you got $200. You could pay someone to clean your house every fucking week and order dinner on Friday for the whole family. And you were doing what you loved anyway. Now no one's hearing you complain about the house. No one's upset that Friday is fucking order out night, and this night we did Chinese, and next week we'll do pizza. You know what I mean? Who said you can't? Who said you can't? You can. God knows I'm not a medical professional. I give advice all the fucking time. I'm like a therapist for people. I get paid. You can do this. You can do this. All right? Shit. Shit you not. Here we go. Archetypal energy cards. Let's see. Yeah, the pioneer. You got a compulsive need to keep moving forward and keep moving on to the next task and the next task and the next task and the next creative idea. But you've got a heart light. Your heart has a bright idea. Your heart knows what it can do every day. Listening to people and being there for people and caring about people and being that person who's understanding is something your heart does every day. Passion for doing and creating what has not been done before. How many people just simply give great advice? How many people are truly good at listening and actually hearing people and how they feel? And it's not necessarily always about the judgment of the actions of what's actually gone on. It's what caused it, and it's the feelings. It's the soul that's hurt. You get that. Do what you haven't done. Do what other people are afraid to do. Seriously, what's stopping you? Make it your passion. Make it your passion. Let your passion serve you. The way it's serving others, let your passion serve you. Because God knows you ain't doing it for the money. You're doing it because you love it. The money is the bonus you get for doing what you love. That's what that is. That's to make sure that what you love is always what you love. Otherwise, it just becomes a fucking chore and a burden. So what is it, Spirit? What is the tarot card? What's the milestone? Beware Icarus. Now, Beware Icarus. Beware is usually a warning card to let you know that other people may be jealous of all the time and energy you're spending on yourself. People may be a little jealous. You're spending so much time in your passion that you're forgetting about me. Be aware of those people. They're drains who would be codependent and try and pull you away from whatever it is you're doing. Mind you, especially if they're family or close friends, Icarus is a card that says don't fly too high and don't fly so low. Don't devalue your passion that you wouldn't do it, but don't spend so much time in your passion that the people that you love really do fall to the wayside. Make sure you keep a balanced schedule, right? Make sure that you keep a balanced schedule. You can't be a workaholic and work 10 hours a day if your whole family is suffering and missing you and what you do naturally in your other roles in life. You know what I mean? You can still be there as an ear for your friend and not charge them just because you're charging money for it now. But you might also need to keep that to a limit too. I was doing it a lot before, but people actually pay me for it now. So unless I feel like donating an hour of charity energy, I either have it or I don't. You know what I mean? Icarus is about gliding through the middle. You can't go so far up into your ego and your passion that you burn out. And you can't fly so low and lowball yourself that you get sad and it's not enough. $10 an hour for what you would be doing is not enough. $20 an hour might not be enough. Hell, if you're gonna take time away from your kids and your family and your spouse and your home and things on your to-do list are gonna get put behind, you might not be willing to do it for less than $50 an hour. But you're still cheaper than a therapist. And if people really fucking want it, that's your price. Yep, I'll sit with you a whole hour every week, once a week for $50 a week. If you can't make a week, fine, give me notice. Give me 48 hours notice, 24 hours notice. Make it worth your while. Don't lowball yourself. Don't lowball yourself. What is your time worth? If you're taking your time away from other things that matter to you, what is it worth? What would make it worth it? And what would you not miss? How much time could you spend doing it that you wouldn't miss out or be missed? Find what works for you, right? Find what works for you. Because if you're giving all that energy away for free all the time at the expense of time with your family or friends, or you're missing other things, then you're already being warned. You're not getting the return you should be getting. You're not getting the return you should be getting. Because whoever you're giving your time and energy to isn't actually making your life at home easier. If you were getting paid for something like this, yeah, you can order food. It makes your life easier. Yeah, you can get a housekeeper to clean your home. It would make your life easier. But if they're not paying you and you're giving your time and energy to them and those things aren't getting done and it's making everybody crabby, you got to figure out what it's worth to you. And if it's not worth it, then why are you investing that much time there, right? What else, Spirit? What else? Secret code name Sparrow. Yeah, healthy balance, healthy boundaries. I think that is key. Healthy boundaries. And beware jealous ass people. You might want to even write up a small contract, like as an awareness, like I need to know that you know I am not a medical professional and I do not give medical advice, and no advice I give should replace that of a medical professional. God knows it's on every freaking video I do. It's a disclaimer. By law, I gotta put that shit on there because I'm not a medical professional. You know what I mean? People want to work with you, they sign a contract that they know that you are not a medical professional. They only have to sign it once, and once they sign it, they know. Protect your ass, you know what I mean? No advice I give should replace that of a medical professional. Yes, I give advice. Shouldn't replace a medical professional. If you're seeing an actual therapist, like, and I'm telling you advice that's against what your therapist is saying, like, you got to discern. I'm not telling you to go against your therapist. I'm telling you, you got to decide what's best for you. Cross your T's and dot your I's. And then do it and do it well. Do it and do it well. Oh, this card. I knew a card flipped up in the deck. Milk and honey. This is your sweetness. This is your sweet spot. Milk and honey, girl. Secret code name Sparrow. I shit you not. Let unconditional love shift you. Let the 5th house, right? Look, we got card number 51. Let the 5th house be your initiation into the sweetness of life. The joy of it. The joy your soul will never forget. The day you started bringing in the sweetness. The feel goods. The equal exchange. The gratitude that people have for you for doing what you do, because a lot of people can't afford fucking therapy. They can't afford a group family counseling session. It's too much money, or their insurance doesn't cover it, and it's too much money. But to see you for $50 even once a month, to come a mother and their kids, or a husband and wife, to be able to come once a month for $50 and just talk it out. People might be super fucking thankful. Get yourself a nice binder. Start filing things, filing all the people that sign, put it in alphabetical order. Every time you get a new client, they got to sign it. If there's kids involved that are under 18, you have to have the parents sign a little space on that paper that gives you permission to talk to their kids about personal things in the sessions. Get it done. You're obviously good at it. You're obviously good at it. So good at it that people would literally be jealous of you. People would literally be jealous of you for getting it done. Because they wish they would have thought of it. They wish they would have been able to do it. And maybe they still can, but now technically, you know, they'd be biting off your idea, which is fine. You tell them, be like, I don't have the energy or the wherewithal to help everybody, so if you want to do it too. Go for it. And if you're getting more clients, well, oh well. They'll get who they get. Their soul calling might end up being something different. But this is yours. You're a pioneer. You've got a heart light that shines really bright. You have a way of talking to people and understanding them, that's for sure. 5th house, Mercury, Cancer. So I hope that helps. That was secret code name Sparrow. I love you. I love you. Until next time. Bye. All right. Secret codename Manatee. Secret codename Manatee. I loved this animal medicine for you. If you don't know animal spirit medicine for manatees, you should look it up because they're an awesome animal in general. And I fell in love with them when I was a kid. So that they showed up for you, like, I thought it was awesome. So here we go. Manatee. Spirit, please. Astro Dice. What do we got? We've got Libra, Mercury, and the 12th house. Now, the 12th house is a mysterious house. It's the house of illusion and self-undoing. If we're undoing the illusion, and that is the theme of these secret codename readings, this is where you might not be being fair to yourself with how you speak, okay? So it could be unjust self-speech that you don't believe in yourself or communicate that it's impossible or that you're not capable of whatever. That you think that what you say holds no weight, or that it doesn't matter when it does. Your words are very powerful, whether you're speaking them about yourself or others. It could also be calling you to communicate more clearly and fairly to others, right? That you actually have to take time and consideration with what you say. Now, the shadow of Libra is iconically the people pleaser, which is saying things that make people feel better, even if they're not necessarily true. Like, oh, I think it's a great idea. Of course you can. When in reality, your inside is like, there's no way they're going to actually do it. Maybe you should just be fair to them and say, it's a great idea, but are you really going to put forth the effort? Because if you put forth the effort, it's a great idea. But if you're not going to put forth the effort and it's not worth it to you, it's just not going to happen, right? It's not going to turn into what you want it to. So it's about being fair, that you don't feel guilty for what you're saying because you're leaving some things out, or you don't feel bad for what you're saying because what you're saying just simply isn't true, right? This is about being kind and going with the flow, understanding that you can't be harsh with people. There's a very special way of saying things with love, you know what I mean? That's not harsh. But as far as communication goes, it might be detrimental for you to partake in negative self-speech or to be dishonest with others about the truth that you're feeling and thinking about, right? Because Mercury is naturally ruled by Gemini and it's the planet of the mind. So if you're thinking about it, you should be fair to yourself and know that you're thinking it for a reason, and it should probably be talked about or communicated, right? This is about being fair with your communication. If you're like, oh no, it's not worth your effort, or don't worry about me, or don't blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, but people do worry about you because you're worth worrying about. And if they're worrying about you, there's a reason. Don't tell them not to. Just don't give them reason to worry. You know what I mean? Like, don't say things like, oh, I'm not worth it, or no, it doesn't matter. How I feel, it's fine. Like, don't ignore the truth and how you feel, right? Don't ignore the truth. The truth is you're worth loving and you're worth worrying about. But it is also true that you don't want people to worry about you. So stick to being honest, stick to being just and fair to people. Make sure that you're not living in an illusion and putting too much on yourself, you know, because you want everybody else to be happy. So you put extra weight on yourself. You know, you're carrying the crosses of other people or holding too much burden, you know what I mean? Because you don't want them to be upset. If anybody's hurt, you would rather be hurt. Like, don't go there. It's better if no one's hurt. If everybody else is okay and you're suffering and they love you and don't actually want you to suffer, is it really fair? No. No. Don't put so much weight on yourself to your detriment just because you're trying to make everybody else happy. Make sure that you value yourself and your place in the experience with other people. That's important. All right? That's important. Don't buy into the illusion that you don't matter, or buy into the illusion that you are so valuable that everybody would fall apart without you, because that's an illusion too. If you stopped holding all of the weights you're holding for other people, the whole universe is not going to crash. Well, if I stop doing all this stuff, everybody's going to fall apart. No, they're not. No, they're not. You're allowed to be honest. You're allowed to take breaks. You're allowed to consider yourself. It's supposed to be fair. It's supposed to be fair. The world is not going to fall apart because you need time for yourself, or you have an interest that you want to go and involve yourself in. You're going to take an hour out of your day once a week and go do a pottery class. You know what I mean? Like, if you're allowed to take time for yourself, you're allowed to take money for yourself, you're allowed to invest in yourself. You're allowed, because you are worth it. If you're carrying so much for everybody else, why not do something for yourself? Tell me you ain't fucking earned it. No, I don't really want to go out to dinner and spend the money, but you do want to go out to dinner. And you don't give a fuck about the money, and neither do they. Or they wouldn't offer. They wouldn't offer to go out to dinner. Maybe they stopped offering because you always rejected it, because you'd rather save the money. You know what I mean? Maybe it's time to take them up on it. Be like, you know what? You used to suggest that we go out to dinner all the time, and I always said no. But you know what? It would be really nice to get out one night. Can we pull it off? It doesn't have to be anything crazy. You don't got to blow $150 on dinner, but you can go and get a nice meal just to spend time out. Feel like a person, get dressed up, look nice, feel nice. Libra is known for loving beauty and the aesthetics of beauty, so it feels good to take time and fix yourself and dress a little and get out of sweatpants, you know what I mean? And put the hair in the messy bun down and throw some hairspray and shit in it. Run the straightener through it. Take the time. You don't have to do a full face of makeup, but you could definitely do your eyebrows, you know what I mean? Put a little lip gloss on, your lip gloss be cool, your lip gloss be popping. Like, let this shit, look in the mirror and feel pretty. When's the last time you actually communicated your self-love by allowing yourself time to actually feel pretty? Because that communication's a big thing. Maybe you say, I don't have time. You're communicating, I don't have time to do my hair. I don't have time to dress nice. Yes, you do. Don't lie to yourself, 12th house. Don't lie to yourself. Yes, you do. You have time when you make it. Running to the store can wait a half an hour. For you to throw your hair in a cute side bun and put a little lip gloss on. Takes 5 minutes. But it's better than not putting the lip gloss on at all. Put a little mascara on, accentuate your eyes so that when you look in the mirror, you feel pretty. You know? It's okay. When's the last time you bought yourself some new clothes? They don't have to be super expensive, they just have to be new. Fresh energy. Something that's more in alignment with your style and your vibe. Maybe you've been rocking the same clothes for 10 years. I know I've got a couple of them in my closet. Some shirts that I love that I can't part with, and pajama pants that are literally 20 years old that I've had since high school. I got them too. But Walmart has some really nice shirts. They've got some really nice tops and even some really pretty dresses for like $10 or $15. You can pick one. You can pick one. When's the last time you replaced your undergarments? You know what I mean? And got yourself something nice and feminine that's just new and not old. You know, like, treat yourself. Communicate your love of self by expressing it in your physical being, right? Real note. Real note. What's the archetypal energy, Spirit? What archetype card? What's the shadow? What's the light? The Destroyer. I don't know why I'm getting strong Cancerian energy. It says, the shadow attribute is an intoxication with destructive power, destroying others' dreams or potential. Listen, when you carry the weight of other people, when you make it your responsibility that the whole world would fall down without you, not only do you become explosive because you're not loving yourself, you're not teaching anybody else how to carry their own weight. You're not teaching anybody else how to be responsible. You're not teaching anybody else how to love themselves. You're teaching them how to drain someone else. You become the destroyer. You're not serving anyone. You're not benefiting anyone. You're not teaching them anything. Yeah, it's great you want to do their laundry for them. But are your kids grown enough to do their own laundry? I guess they got to do their own laundry. They got to be responsible because they're going to run out of underwear and they're going to need to do laundry. And when they run out of underwear, they will. They will. No more do it for me. Hey, can you do this for me? I gotta run, I'm busy. No, you don't. You don't gotta run and you're not busy because your laundry needs to get done. When your laundry's done, sure you can run. I can't do it today. Oh, but please, blah, blah, blah. No. I have to go to the store and I have to cook dinner. That's enough. I want to put my mascara on. I don't want to walk around the house feeling like a bum and I need to take a shower. I don't have time to do your laundry. So whatever you're doing and running to do, it's gonna have to wait until your laundry's done. Or you can do it tonight when you get back from doing whatever you're doing. So make sure you're not too tired to do it. Teach them how to prioritize and organize their time. Because if they can get dressed up and do their hair real nice and run out the house, well, you're also allowed to dress up real nice and get ready to run out of the house. You have places to be and things to do too. And you can't do it if you're also doing their shit on top of your shit. See how that works? Teach them how to be responsible adults by not carrying all their weight. And if they're not at home in time for dinner, you'll simply put it in the fridge. They're gonna have to heat it up, take it out, and put it all away. Don't leave the dish in the sink. I did the dishes after dinner. So if you're coming home after dinner and I already did the dishes, don't leave it in the sink. I would have done it after dinner, when I cleaned up after dinner. But it's already been done. So if you're going to come in late, do it yourself. Don't leave it for me in the morning. In the morning, I'm going to put my mascara on, I'm going to do my hair, and I'm going to go get this done, and I'm going to get that done. I have a nail appointment. I don't want to do your dishes. Don't mind doing them after dinner. Don't want to do them in the morning. Can't. Sorry. You will hear me bitch. Right? Get rid of that shadow. Otherwise, you just feel shit on. You feel shit on and you feel neglected because you are letting other people shit on you and you're neglecting yourself. The light attribute is releasing what is potentially destructive and preparing for new life. Release what is potentially disruptive. Taking on everybody else's shit and making it your shit. And the whole world would fall apart if you didn't do it. No, it won't. And you'll feel better. Their world might be a little chaotic for a while, adjusting to the new you, but they will fucking survive. They will survive. What's the tarot? Oh, really? Beware Icarus had just come out for another reading. So don't go full-fledged I don't give a fuck mode, right? Don't go full-fledged I don't give a fuck mode. But don't let people walk you over until the breaking point hits either. Okay? The moon and the tower. The moon and the tower. Really, now I was pulling on Cancerian energy. The moon is typically a Piscean card, but it's Cancer rules the moon. Tower, also destruction energy, right? So we're getting this dual destruction kind of energy. This has to do with inner child wounding. You might have learned from your parents that you're supposed to do everything for everybody and run yourself into the ground, and that that's the way it's supposed to be, and that is not the case. The moon deals with childhood wounds. Things that we learned from our parents or learned about ourselves early in life, that this is all we're good for, that we forgot we're good for other things, including ourselves. This is a total reality rewrite. Completely shift. Whole new you. Whole new you. A whole new you that cares about your fucking self and your energy. If your mother didn't care about her energy being run into the ground and she was a raging mess and she was always pissed and she didn't have time for herself and she didn't have time to do what she wanted to do and she had to give up her dreams for her kids and blah, blah, blah. That's her. Those were her choices that kept her in that experience. Doesn't have to be you. I'm sure there were beautiful qualities your mother possessed that she put forth and gave to everyone. You might admire those things and continue to do those things, but sometimes enough is enough, and sometimes today is not tomorrow. Just because you do it today doesn't mean you feel like it tomorrow. You could say, hey, anybody, I'm about to run my laundry. Anybody need to throw in anything specific while I'm washing mine? I'll wash it while I'm doing it. You're doing laundry anyway. No, you don't mind helping them out a little bit. No, I'm not going to do all of your laundry, but if you're out of underwear, you could throw a couple pairs in the wash with mine. until you get to your laundry tomorrow or the day after. At least it buys you a couple days. You're welcome. You can meet people halfway. Just like they're going to have to meet you halfway. Maybe you usually do clean up after dinner. Maybe today your hands are bothering you. Your hands are hurting you and you don't actually feel like scrubbing out that pot. So you got to call someone in and say, hey, it's your turn. And the kitchen floor needs to be swept. You're on it. Tonight's your night. Change the reality. Change the reality. Don't buy into the illusion that you don't matter. Don't buy into the illusion that you don't matter. Yes, you fucking do. Yes, you do. Yeah, new life. I'm telling you, whole new life. Whole new you. Crack that shell open. Here she is. Manatee is important. Manatee is kind. Manatee is gentle. Manatee is considerate. Manatee is also completely abused by their environment. Manatee is known for the scars that it has all over its body from swimming in warm, shallow waters and getting cut apart by boats. And nobody in the environment cares that the manatee is completely cut up or scarred because they didn't matter. But they like the warmth of the shallow waters. They like being able to feel the sun. They like to just be themselves. They don't bother anybody. They don't make anybody's life harder. But the environment is rough on them. Make it matter. Make you matter. I will be seen. I'm beautiful. I'm a beautiful person, and I can't be all of my beautifulness if I'm so busy wrapped up doing everybody else's crap. People want to throw a fucking tantrum. You don't love me, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not that I don't love you. I love you so much. I'm teaching you how to take care of yourself. I love you so much. I took care of you for all this time, and now I'm teaching you how to take care of yourself because I won't always be here. You want me to do your laundry? You really want me to do your laundry? $20. $20. I'll save you the trip to a laundromat. What if you weren't living here with me? You'd be doing your laundry. Or you'd be paying someone to do it for you. You don't have time to do your laundry? You want to take time out of my day? Time is money. Time is money. It's fair is fair. They're old enough to have a job. They're old enough to pay for luxuries. They're old enough to work and earn a living. Let them figure it out. Truth. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps, Secret Codename Manatee. I really do, because putting way too much on yourself and making way too many excuses to keep doing it, and you're not serving anybody, especially not yourself. Not with that Destroyer card, not with the Tower card. No. New life, new way of doing things. All the love you always had is still there, but the way you're doing things is different. because you love you too. I love you. So until next time, bye. All right, so secret code name, Lapis Lazuli. Lapis Lazuli is a strong third eye stone. It is definitely associated with Archangel Michael. So if you're not familiar with Lapis Lazuli, or you haven't looked up its properties in a while, look up the actual spiritual, energetic, metaphysical properties that go along with Lapis Lazuli, and know to embody those light elements, right? To really embody that and help open up your third eye. If you have a Lapis Lazuli, it would behoove you to actually keep it on your person, or at least touch it and come in contact with it once a day. Thank it for its energy before you go to bed and put it back on your nightstand. Like, just make sure that if you have one, that you're in connection with it for at least the next 2 weeks, right? Until we hit the full moon in Libra. So here we go. Astro Dice, Spirit, please, for Lapis Lazuli. House number 6, Scorpio and Pluto. Pluto is the natural planet to Scorpio. Scorpio and Pluto in the 6th house. This could be definitely warning you about addictions, because the 6th house has to do with health, service and health. You may actually do well or fare well talking with or aiding with or counseling addicts, volunteering with a program like AA or NA or something like that. That just might end up being a calling for you. If you're dealing with addictions yourself, or self-sabotage, right? Because addictions don't necessarily mean to a substance. You can be addicted to a certain way of life or a certain way of doing things that's self-sabotaging. Like, Scorpionic energy has been this kind of thing that I've been talking about people. It's like a live fast, die young, go all or go home, instant gratification type shit. You know what I mean? Like, if you're doing something for instant gratification, even though you know you probably shouldn't be doing it, it's like being a shopaholic. Like, you know you shouldn't be spending your money on all of this shit. You don't really have it to spend. But it's just this, and it's just a little bit, and you'll figure it out, and you buy it anyway, and you're so happy you got it. But at the end of the day, you're upset every time you look at your debt. You know what I mean? Like, every time you think about your debt, you get upset. But yet the instant gratification in the moment, and it's just a couple dollars, you know, it's like, yeah, but that just a couple dollars is why you have a bunch of debt that you hate yourself for having. You know what I mean? So it's like Scorpio and self-sabotage kind of go hand in hand. So whatever it is that you're addicted to, it could be addicted to a toxic relationship. It could be addicted to a toxic job. Maybe the job, no matter how much you love the paycheck and the gratification of that paycheck, the job itself fucking sucks. You hate it. Maybe you hate the people you work with. Maybe you hate the job anymore. Maybe it's not resonating with you and you're doing it anyway. You might be addicted to that feeling of feeling sorry for yourself, feeling addicted to that self-loathing state. Maybe you're addicted to hating on people and you like bitching about your coworkers. Because if you weren't bitching about your coworkers, what else would you have to talk about? I don't know, the reinvention of yourself and the new job you got and how much you love it. You know what I mean? Ask yourself what it is you're addicted to and how it's sabotaging you. Maybe there's a part of you that is honestly super jealous of what other people have, and you feel like you can't have it. Because Scorpio, shadow of Scorpio, especially with Pluto there, which is why I'm talking so heavy about Scorpionic shadows. Scorpio could be very jealous and very possessive those are my things. That's my person. These are my friends. You know, this is my life. This is what I choose to do. Very obstinate. You know, Scorpio is also a fixed sign, so they're very stubborn in their ways. Like, if Scorpio likes to live fast, die young, better burn out than to fade away. Like, try talking to Scorpio out of that. Try talking to Scorpio out of their addictions, especially if it's affecting their health. Whatever the scorpionic energy is in your chart, wherever your Pluto placement is, be aware that it's pinging on you in your 6th house. Whatever your natal ruler of your 6th house is, your scorpionic energy and your Plutonian placement is affecting your 6th house. If you don't know what your chart is, you can always shoot me an email. My email's in the description. Let me know your birthday, birth time, birth location. I'll send you a screenshot of your chart, and I'll tell you where these things are and what is going on. But the scorpionic energy is definitely playing a role. And right now in Scorpio, Poseidon and Apollon are both retrograde in there. It has to do with our deep emotional state and not being in touch with our soul song, with both of them in retrograde. All right, and Pluto is in Capricorn, which means we could definitely be giving in to our vices or our dark side and not caring, right? Making choices that don't care, that we, you know, we're expressing we don't care. It doesn't matter. I don't care. But it's affecting you on a very deep level. It's affecting you on a very deep level with how you view yourself and think about yourself and how you're treating yourself. And it's negatively aspecting your health because you're putting unnecessary stresses on yourself in your life, right? And I think if your secret code name is Lapis Lazuli and that stone is coming forward for you, then you need to be very well aware of the things that you're addicted to. Okay, substances or otherwise. Behaviors that are self-sabotaging, right? Behaviors that are self-sabotaging, that are directly or indirectly affecting your health because of stress. Because of stress. Stress is a killer. And all the things that you're doing that are self-sabotaging are causing you a great deal of stress, and you need to show yourself some mercy, right? You need to show yourself some mercy. Archetypal cards. We're going to take that one too. The Athlete and the Vampire. Depleting others for your psychic survival. Chronic complaining and codependency. Addicted to toxic behavior. Put all these other things on other people to do to fill your voids or reassure you in some way that you're doing a good job when really you need to reassure yourself. Chronic complaining. Chronic complaining. Well, if that ain't a fucking Scorpio shadow, I don't know what is. Scorpios, they do love to complain about everybody. Shadow attribute of the Athlete is the misuse of your abilities for selfish ends, a false sense of invulnerability and entitlement. Maybe you feel like you're entitled to drink. Maybe you feel like you're entitled to smoke. Maybe you feel like you're entitled to these things because you feel like you're invincible. You know, your body didn't give out yet. You're going to live to be blah, 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 but you're treating your body like shit. You're not invulnerable and you're not invincible. You're fucking human as hell. And if you're stressing yourself out and you're putting all that shit on other people and it's causing you stress, like, reality check. Reality check. This is undoing the illusion. That's the theme of the readings. You have to have put a dedicated effort forward, the light attribute. Dedication to transcending your physical limits, including handicaps, development of personal willpower and strength of spirit. If you are escaping into substances, if you're escaping in this negative behavior, you have to have some real personal willpower and get in touch with your strength. You got to be able to hold up your own world. You can't go numbing out. or getting pissed off and enraged at other people. If you're angry at other people, let me tell you something. In the mirror, you're never angry for the reason that you think. You're pissed at yourself. That's another thing about Scorpio anger. It was related to Mars for a long time. Mars ruled Scorpio with Aries until they discovered Pluto. Anger is tied into that. Scorpios can get very angry and lash out at people and make them feel like shit about themselves, when really you're feeling like shit about yourself and you're pissed at yourself for getting yourself in the situation you're in and not starting to hold up your world and get your shit together, but not prioritizing. Nobody is doing what they're supposed to do. Nobody is doing their part. Nobody's this or nobody's that. They're not this, they're not that. That's not good enough. You're having a conversation with yourself. Understand the mirror. You might be the only person that exists, and everything else out there is a reflection for you to witness about yourself. Anything you would say to someone else, imagine for a second you're talking in a mirror, and your mirror's reflection is your higher self talking to you. Think about all the things that come out of your mouth. If spirit were to slide a mirror between you and them, and you're saying this shit to yourself, and that reflection in the mirror is you, your higher self, it's talking to you. You're lazy. You're not motivated. Good for nothing. Whatever the fuck. Your higher self is like, what the fuck? You're lazy, you're not doing your work, you're escaping. Whatever it is. You definitely have to understand about what you fear appears. If you're afraid something could actually happen and manifest with your health, but you're in denial of it, you're still manifesting it here. You're still afraid it's going to manifest. Why are you afraid it's going to manifest? Because you're doing shit that it could actually manifest and you're just denying it. But you're doing shit that it could actually manifest. That's why you see it, and that's why you're afraid. And what you fear appears. You wouldn't be afraid of that outcome at all if you were doing healthy things. Think about that. Scorpionic energy, they're their own worst enemy. And they are the only ones that can set them free. They're the only ones who can set themselves free by choosing to be stable and put in the soul work. You got to hold your world up. Your world. You want to picture a happy, healthy relationship, a happy, healthy living dynamic, a happy, healthy old age. You got to align yourself with the choices that create that. Loving your partner for all that they do. Letting them know that they are good enough. Knowing that you're good enough. And what you get done today is great. And what you don't get done today, you can get done tomorrow, and that's fine. If something can't wait until tomorrow, then I guess that's your priority today, and everything else can wait until tomorrow. You know, feel good about the choices you're making. Don't get upset with other people because they're human. Just reflecting back to you your own vibe. This is a time to reinvent yourself and to redirect your life. Redirect your choices, healthier choices. Because what's healthier for you ripples and it will heal everybody else instead of keeping it in the fucking dark place. Yeah, you've got the magic in you. You're the magician. This is the milestone. You've got to be the creator. The magician is the creator. Using all of the elements, the soul spark, the mind, the heart, and the reality to change things. The magician uses all the elements. Body, mind, soul, heart, you name it, to change the reality. You want your life to change. You want your reality to change. You're a chronic complainer. It starts with you. It's not going to change if you don't. It's not going to change if you don't. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting different results. Truth. What else, Spirit? Yeah, chaos and conflict. It's just validating it for you. This is a zebra. And yet, the skin that's coming off underneath, they're not a regular black and white zebra. They've got a giraffe's print skin underneath. Their zebra stripes are falling away. It's not all black and white, which Scorpio is known for. Being very black and white, a sign of extremes. It's not about extremes. It's not black or white. All the solutions are not black or white. Maybe there's pieces that fit together like a puzzle. You've got to start to understand all your pieces and the fact that you are actually different than black and white under there. That you're a solid pattern. Still unique, but not extreme. Your extremes don't help you. This is card number 33. It's a master teacher number. You've got to be able to lead by example because you're rippling and you're teaching other people how to behave and what's okay when it's not. Chronically complaining about your life, being codependent, looking for other people to fill your voids. Well, I just want them to do this. If they just did this, well, your higher self is looking at you like, well, if you just did this, if you just change that about your own behavior, right? Think about the mirror. Think about Spirit sliding that mirror down right between you and another person and realize what the fuck is coming out of your mouth and that your higher self has an issue with you and the way you're choosing to be and the way you're choosing to speak and the way you're choosing to handle shit. Because you're creating the nightmare. You're creating what you fear. Spirit is trying to show you yourself. Heed the warning, change your life. Heed the warning, change your life. Your earth angels, the people that love you in this life, that try and talk to you and try and understand, they're your higher self too. They're another facet of you, rooting for you. Anybody who would be short and snap at you back or give you attitude back, trust me, Spirit has the mirror dropping in between them and them too. But that's not your problem. Their mirror is not your problem. Their mirror will instantly start healing when you heal your own. The ripple starts with you. Your world is chaotic. It's because your inner world is chaotic and you ain't listening to your higher self. You gotta listen. You're afraid of things for a reason. It's because you're out of alignment. Because when you're in alignment, fear doesn't exist. It doesn't need to be ignored. True facts. So I hope it helps. I love you. My love is with you. Always. Until next time. Bye. All right, so hello, secret code name, Whale Depths. Whale Depths. Now, when I got the visual for this code name, I literally saw, because whales do dive deep, and the whale was very, very deep in the dark depths, but where the light barely touches on the surface of the whale so that you could see its eye and you could see the shimmer of the light on its back, but you couldn't see the rest of it. Like, it was literally on that line where the light can't go any further. And it was just kind of gracing the very bits of light still coming through the depth. And so, you know, we're diving really deep, and whales are very ancient type wisdom. They dive into the unconscious and subconscious realms of the self and sing there. Okay, they sing there. They're very ancient medicine. So if you haven't already Googled whale spirit medicine, look it up, because that totem, that animal spirit, is guiding you and serving you, especially if you're moving very closely on the depths of discovering the self, the deep places where maybe you haven't gone before, right? If you've always been towards the surface of your emotional realm and the consciousness, the light of your emotions, you're starting to understand the depths. Whale spirit will help you through them. They also help in dream state. So, whale depth, spirit, please, Astro Dice, here we go. Taurus, Mercury, 5th house. 5th house is Kundalini energy. It is creative energy. It's the passion energy, right? The things that we get passionate about. Taurus, obviously in its shadow, it could be very stubborn, but it loves fine food. It likes to be able to enjoy stress-free environments. Taurus is known for being one of them signs that loves to fucking sleep. They enjoy their beauty rest and they love good food. So like, put yourself in a nice creative space where you're not necessarily under pressure, but that you are stable and making money. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be some grand work yourself into the fucking ground energy that's more Capricornian, to be completely fair. Taurus is very laid back. They're very easygoing. They have enough, you know what I mean? Like, they're good to go. Mercurial energy is communicative, you know, it's mental. It could be very much achieving mental stability. Okay, mental stability and communicating just how mentally stable you are now and how good you feel, especially when you're tuned into your 5th house. Whatever the 5th house ruler is for you in your birth chart, check out the sign that rules your 5th house, because the light of that sign, the light attributes of that sign, is what will help create a very stable place for you, not just financially, but internally, right? A very solid, stable, peaceful, at rest with myself. You know what I mean? This is no longer being at war with the self. This is being at rest with the self, being able to relax in the self. You know, that you love who you are and what you're doing. You're in a very, very much a state of self-approval, right, would be the goal. So if we're undoing the illusion, which is the theme of this reading, check out the ruler of your 5th house. Know where your Mercury placement is. That could be helping you, as well as your Taurian, your house, that's your Taurian house, right? Whatever house the Taurus rules could very much help activate these things. It could also, if you're familiar with your birth chart, tell you what challenges you're getting from these areas. You know, Uranus is in Taurus right now. Mercury is currently in Aquarius and about to go into Pisces. So Uranus and Taurus is big reality shifts. Mercury being in Aquarius and moving into Pisces, this is going to be about really communicating from a higher perspective with yourself, knowing you're having those mirror conversations and getting in touch with your deep soul, right? Piscean energy, getting in touch with your deep soul. The 5th house is naturally ruled by Leo, and it does represent the things that we are most passionate about, what lights our soul on fire, that we could do it forever and never get tired, right? That we could never get tired. So where you're at moving forward. This is about falling in love with your life and creating stability and being at peace with who you are in a state of self-approval. Okay? Let's see here. What is the archetypal energies, please? The light and the shadow. Ooh, there it is. The healer. The healer. See my camera just clits. The healer. Aquarian, Piscean energy, right? Talking about that. The shadow is taking advantage of those that need help and failing to care for yourself. Meaning, helping others or wanting to love others because you want something in return, including love, including healing, right? You want them to heal you and love you. When really it's about needing to love yourself and take care of yourself and give yourself what they're not giving you. If they're not approving of you and embracing you, then you need to approve of yourself and embrace yourself. You know what I mean? Seek within what you can't find without. This is going deep. The light attribute is a passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit, the ability to help transform pain into healing. You understand with your big heart what other people have gone through, especially people who love and just want to be loved back. You know, you might find it very comforting to be in a position or job or field of work where you're helping other people by being able to talk to them. You know, help them through it because you've been through it. Like, it's okay. I know how you feel. I've been there. But you know what? The best choice I ever made was loving myself. And this is what I did when I loved myself. And this is what I manifested when I loved myself. And I realized I didn't need their approval because I'm a beautiful person. You know, like, these are the types of things that you could be getting into. You know, you don't have to go be a counselor or whatever, but you can be in a profession, even if it's like waitressing, like you could be in a profession where you're just talking to people all the time, talking to other people that you work with, talking to clients, you know, sitting around at the table, whatever it is that you do with your life. You know, you can get a job at a studio doing secretary work, you know what I mean? Like a yoga studio or something, and you can get to do your classes and meditations or whatever it is, and you have free time, and you can go meet people, you know what I mean? And do and be social. Like, no one said you have to work such a crazy amount of hours that you don't get to be social. But as long as all your bills are getting paid and you're good, and you got a little extra to be nice to yourself, it's okay if you have time to rest. Taurean energy, it's okay if the pace is slow. It's okay if it's not high speed and busy, do work all the time. Like, it's fine. Enjoy the break. Enjoy your time. Enjoy the sleep. You know what I mean? Enjoy the steadiness. Enjoy the steadiness of it. Because when you allow yourself to enjoy steady, you get to ripple steady for others. Steady energy, consistent energy, stable energy, solid energy. You become consistent because you're not erratic. You're not all over the place. You're finally stable because you're in a place of self-approval. And you're not going at such a pace that you're breaking yourself down. But you're able to live your life and do what you want to do and not worry. And still have time to just be stress-free. Because your only responsibility is yourself and your energy, and no one's taking that from you. No one's taking your peace from you. No one's disrupting your day. You ain't worrying about anybody at all. Because you've got yourself stable and you're the only person you need to worry about. So if you're not worried about yourself because you know you're good, you're not worrying about anything. Am I right or am I right? You don't need to worry about you because you're good. You don't gotta worry about shit. You don't gotta worry about shit. The Hierophant. Now the Hierophant's, that's a fucking power card there, and they are a teacher. The Hierophant is a teacher. It's a very spiritual major arcana in the deck. This is about soul contracts. Whoever you're coming into contract with in the future, the near future, whoever it is that's crossing your path, you have soul contracts to heal with these people. This is not about getting super involved with them, but it's about rippling healing for them. It's about knowing how to understand where someone is and knowing how to also detach from it because you're no longer in that place. It's also knowing that you're in the mirror constantly, and the attributes that are positive in those people that you can embrace yourself, and whatever is unhealed in them, the more you talk to them, you are also healing certain reflections of yourself. You might be in contact with someone from a past life, right? Especially whale depths, going down deep, right? Subconscious and unconscious levels. You may be connecting over the, the course of the next however long with people that you were in past lives with, that you have healing to close, right? Because how you got to be where they are in this life, like they or you were the reason for it in a past life, right? So anything you can heal with them, you're essentially healing within yourself moving forward in this life. It's unfinished business, right? It's unfinished business. Whatever you're doing, these are high soul contracts that are healing, and they're tying up old past life ends. Whatever you're doing, there's unfinished business and unfinished healing from past lives. And in order to find yourself in a very whole place, you're going to be going through a lot with other souls that you just simply have unfinished business with. They could be lovers from past lives. They could be family from past lives. They could be your best fucking friend from a past life. And there's things that were not healed between you when that lifetime ended. And so now you're finally getting a chance to tie a ribbon on that and seal it and let it go with love, you know what I mean? To give it the best healing that you can while holding your peace and maintaining your truth. Because your truth is your truth, right? Your truth is always your truth and will remain your truth. But you're being called, right? You're being called to teach, and you're being called to heal, and you're being called to remove the rats from the subconscious depth, right? The energy that would steal from you, the energy that would come in and steal from you, because mice are sometimes, as an animal spirit in certain decks of cards, mice are like thieves. They're intruders. They come in and they take things in the middle of the night where you're not looking, and they ruin it. You know what I mean? Like they get into the pantry and they steal the food, and you'll find little things missing. Like mice are little secret fucking hoarders. You know what I mean? Like these are old mice, type energies and soul that would take from you. This is a matter of healing that and saying, no, I'm not going to have my energy stolen. These are tests of stability. Nope, my peace is not going to be stolen. No, my reality is not going to be disrupted. I'm going to heal it. I'm going to heal it. So it's not going to drain me or take from me or disrupt my life, not in this life or any other beyond it, right? I'm finally closing these old soul chapters. That's all this part of the cycle is. It's old soul chapters. So be aware of that. The people that are coming into your life, or that you will be meeting, just know you're closing very old soul cycles, right, of healing. Not that you'll never see these souls again, or not end up best friends and confidants, because there's just such respect between the two of you by the end. It's just that the lesson learning with them is done, right? The healing work with them is done. It's just a healed dynamic now. You can look forward to that. What else do they need to know, Spirit? Secret code name, Whale Depths. You might even want to meditate to like whales talking to each other, like whales communicating. It's a beautiful meditative sound to listen to whale songs. What else? Yeah, this is going to help you heal feeling alone. Mending soul contracts by the book. This is Akashic Records. I shit you not. We're talking about the Hierophant and past lives. We're talking about by the book. This is Ancient Soul Contracts, Self-Mastery, card number 11. You know, the universe. This is also about the laws of the universe. If you don't know what the 12 laws are, like we are all one, we are all connected, we are all vibrating, we are all raising our vibration, we all have duality, we all deal with, you know, we reap what we sow and all this shit. Like, this is about the universe showing you what it can do when you follow the book. When you follow the book, the way the universe works and is truly designed, when you understand it, you are not alone in this life. We have sacred soul contracts everywhere. You are not abandoned. You are not discarded. You are not by yourself. You're mending this about yourself. And the people that you come into contract with moving forward, these are probably the people that abandoned you in a past life, which is why they're here in this life helping you heal now. They're coming into your present life because they abandoned you or rejected you in a past life to where you feel orphaned or alone or misunderstood in this life. You brought that with you. So wherever you're going and wherever you're heading, these people, these souls that you cross, they're ancient. They're ancient, your old soul friends with unhealed things, and the universe is bringing it back around so that they could repay you the good part, the healing part. They're giving you the healing part back so that you're not rippling the hurt part. You need the healing part, right? Because the shadow attribute was failing to care for oneself. Taking advantage of those who need help. Maybe you were taken advantage of and then discarded in a past life, which is why you're reliving it in this one. And so you're finally reaching the soul contracts that are going to help bring you out of it, to heal this, because it is divine order. It's divine order, and you're meant to teach. You're meant to teach. You're meant to teach others that they're never alone. At the end of the day, that's the ultimate lesson that you're going to be giving to someone else. You're never alone. You're never without. You were never abandoned or rejected. You just didn't know what love was. No different than the lesson you're learning from your past life. You were never rejected. You were never abandoned. You just didn't know what love was. Neither did those people at the time, which is why they're returning it now. Returning the love now. Returning the consideration now. Trust me, big energy. So I hope that helps. Undoing the illusion, you are not alone. You are not alone. You were never forgotten about. You were never forgotten. Your love, whatever love you put out, was never forgotten. So much so that souls remembered it and are going to connect with you, intended to connect with you in this life just to return the love you gave. That's how powerful your love is. Think about that. You're not alone. You've just been healing the fear of it, healing the scar of it. But everything comes back around, and all the love you've ever put out comes back to you. Truth. Universe wouldn't have it any other way. So we got multiple fives, right? Hierophant's a 5. Card number 5 is orphaned. We got card number 52 and an 11. So 5s and 525 might also be a synchronistic number, or you might have a significant experience in May, right? So that said, I hope it helps. I love you. And I will see you next time. Bye.